All right, we are back. We are back. I think we're back. Might not be back. Let me check if we're back or not. Okay, streamed, so it ended. Okay, yeah, we are so back. Shared it. All right, we are back. We are back. Okay, start that real quick. Uh, yeah, we back. Let's get it. I really got to get this PC fixed, dude. It is on a wing and a prayer right now, dude. This PC needs to fucking. It needs some tender love and care. God smited you, convert back immediately. Father, no, stop. What's up? What's up? Only armor, a memory, only a memory. I don't know why I couldn't read that right. Yep, sorry for that. I have RAM issues on my PC. It blue screens randomly now, so yeah, my apologies. I really do got to get it fixed soon. Uh, just can't justify it at the moment. But yeah, we're back. Sorry, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. While we're waiting though, let's see here. Pop out chat. What's my favorite Bible verse? My former favorite Bible verse back when I was a Christian was Titus 3:5. I feel like it did the job a lot better than John 3:16 did. So you're back to former atheist, now a Christian. Yeah. No, that's coming later though. Well, that'll come in a minute. Probably after I drink this next beer. Matter of fact, I might as well get started on that because my this other thing that's intoxicated me just keeps going out. Yeah, it's gotta build up for that. For some odd reason, I'm not anxious to do it now, but I feel so like goofy doing it. I got a new song too. One that doesn't require me to share my revenue or outright demonetize my video and give all my revenue over to like the rights owner. Also, I want to just say really quickly, let's get an L in the chat for Cathedral Ruins. They're a band or like an orchestra. I don't know what they are, but they're the makers of that one song I use when I do my prayers. And yeah, it's they've been waxing my pussy over that song. That auto guy said this in response to the forced baby incubation story. Ironically, the argument for keeping that woman alive is consistent with pro-abortion arguments. Uh, Consistent with pro-abortion arguments. Based, right? Based. Undertaker threw Mankind off the Hell in a Cell in 1999 through the Spanish announce table. That was a great match. I liked I think my three favorite Hell in a Cell matches though that clear it were the first ever one, Undertaker versus like Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, In Your House, Bad Blood, 1997, I want to say. Um, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell 2022. Just because like the dude did that whole fucking match with a torn pec, that is, I think that's a lot more impressive than like getting thrown off the top of the cage. That was huge, a huge moment, obviously, but like um, I think that clears it, and I also think that CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, Bad Blood, 2024 was a better one too. You'd love to debate? Yeah, go join the Discord then. If you're over 18, if you're not over 18, don't join the Discord. Bad video? No, it seems like we're good. Nathan, no, you can't come back. You can't come back. You will not come back. My favorite Bible story is when God made Absalom rape 10 of David's wives. It was the first stepmom porn. Yeah. The first incest porn was when Lot's daughters had sex with him. That was pretty disgusting too. What's the link? Let me do exclamation all my links really quickly because I feel like there's so many people wanting to come in and talk in Discord, but not enough people wanting to follow me on Twitch. And that can't happen, especially when I'm going to start streaming on Twitch again soon. It's like that can't happen, right? But And he climbed back up and got choke slammed through it into the ring. Yeah, that was a crazy match, dude. Undertaker in the late 90s was a fucking beast. The bottom line is those who are saved don't turn away, those who aren't saved do. Oh, okay, yeah, so we're just trying to say this weird sort of oh, you can genuinely believe the thing, but you weren't actually saved, or this, that, and the third. You know what, Otto? Here's probably gonna be my favorite debate tactic going forward, is to just redirect people to one another. Because for every, I'd say 10, you were never truly a Christians that I get like maybe one, you're still a Christian, stop lying. So like until y'all get y'all story together, I'm not gonna hear any of it. He's real, man. Is he though? Is he? Is he really? Is he really saved? I'm not saved. Is he really real? Let me pour up this beer though. This other thing just isn't hitting the way I wanted to hit. Beer. Oh yeah. Wait 1 second. If we start to get did you read the rest? If what you're gonna start off with is this implication that I didn't actually believe or didn't meet your standard when I'm me and you're not me and you're you and I'm not you, and thus we can't tell each other what we actually genuinely believed in. If we're going to start off with that, then you're starting off from a position of trying to invalidate what I used to believe in and dismiss it, and I'm not going to make that my issue. I choose not to spend any of my time whatsoever giving any sort of power or attention to this idea, this asinine idea that I can't go from genuinely believing in a thing to not believing in a thing. You were never truly an atheist unless you sacrifice your firstborn child to Satan. Exactly. Yeah, we don't tell the CPS though. All right, 1 second. Did you see the message before that one? I'll be honest with you, Otto, I couldn't give a shit at this point. Once we're at the point of A, trying to invalidate me, and B, just trying to ask me to go back and give extra attention to your invalidation, I'm not interested. So I might even just mute you if it continues, if we can't add to the discussion productively. But no, I'm not going back for that. But wait 1 second. About to do a little ASMR real quick. 1 second. About to. If you want to know what a freshly opened tall boy Bud Light Lime sounds like, here's what it sounds like. 1 second. Some got in my ear. Why did I open it so close to the mic, dude? Why do I do this? Some got in my ear. Yeah, fuck it. Hope it gets me a little bit drunk. Do you believe that a miracle is possible / will happen or have happened ever? Maybe not from God, but just something unnatural happen or what or could happen. I think by the literal definition of unnatural that it can't happen. Because once something that's unlikely to happen happens, it then becomes natural. But like say a universe where humans exist in the way that we do, where after our brain activity stops and we don't have any medical intervention to make it start again, I'm not going to believe any claims that that person came back from the dead. It wasn't rude though. Was it not though? I'm just not reading. I'm not interested. I'm sorry. You know, I'm just not at the point of wanting to hit your particular standard for my shit. So yeah. You've produced miracles by his name. Produce a miracle right now. Here's a miracle I want you to produce. In the name of Jesus, tell me the object that's in my hand right now. I have one object in my right hand. Tell me what this object is, and I will believe that you can produce miracles in God's name. In the Discord, can you call in? No, I don't do like the live call in, neglect 100 plus people watching for one person who wants to tell me about how they saw a cat leap from a tree to safety in a bush, and that makes them believe in a Christian God. I'm sorry, it's just that's a big sarcastic straw man, to be honest with you, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not gonna disrupt the entirety of the stream just for you. Sorry. Saved versus follower is a difference. I was a follower for you. Okay, yeah, you can go. You can go. You can go at this point. Yeah, you can go. I don't think you're getting you're hearing my words. You want to keep up with this, like, oh, you have to meet my standard for your X belief to be valid. At that point, you can just fuck off. Take care. Oh my god. Oh my. Oh my god. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Let's get a big skadoosh. Let's get a big hawk Tua for Otto in the chat. He will not be coming back this stream. But oh yeah, shit. Yeah, what's the object in my hand? I put it down. I'm gonna pull it back up. I got another object in my left hand. I'm gonna put that down just to make sure it doesn't mess up the Holy Spirit. Tell me the object in my hand. I will believe that God is telling you information, because it's such a particular object that to guess it correctly, even to guess it correctly, would be pretty impressive. So yeah, by all means, tell me what's in my hand. It's a single object. I've had to take a guess. I'd say it weighs about, I don't know. I don't know, it's like maybe an ounce, 2 ounces or something. Maybe a little bit more than that. It's pretty compressed. Like 3 ounces. Tell me the object in my hand. I will convert on the spot. To be fair, God is a supernatural entity that we human brains can't define. That really goes to saying science without religion is lame. Religion with science is blind. I'll grant, and it's the reason I'm agnostic, I will grant it's not a silly putty egg. No. I do want one of those again, though. I haven't seen those since I was a kid, though. But I will grant that a being that doesn't have to abide by the laws of our reality is unprovable ultimately if it chooses to hide. Sure. But at that point, if we can't properly define it, then there's no conversation to be had. I'm fully justified in calling it non-existent because it meets the exact same standards as everything else that I call non-existent. So that's where it fails. Give them a chance to prove their fake God. Yeah, I keep putting the object down. Maybe that's disrupting the Holy Spirit. I'll just put it in front of me. Let me move the other objects from in front of me. Let me put just this object in front of me. Just this one object. Tell me what the object is. And for some odd reason, he's not responding. Tell me what the object is. I will convert on the spot to Christianity. I will realize I'm wrong. I will say that I have been reborn by Christ. Christ has communicated to others, and I will get right with Christ. If you tell me what object is in front of me right now. But while you're doing that, I'm going to pour up this beer real quick. Also, the object isn't a beer or a scotch glass. It's another object. Isn't trying to prove or disprove God misdirected energy. You could say that, sure, but somebody's saying that they've done miracles in God's name, so I want to air them out for the whole world to see. If you think it's misdirected energy for me to disprove their claims, then you can also have to tell them that it's misdirected energy to prove their claims. A microphone, that's one of the objects, but no, it's not the one on my desk. I'll even hold it again to see if we can focus in on the Holy Spirit. I don't know where you went. I don't know why you scrolled away, but if you're still in here, on the off chance you are, tell me the object in my hand and I will reconvert right now. It's just one object. My left hand is empty. My right hand has something in it. Tell me the object. I'll even shake the object in front of the mic real quick. 1 second, just to help out the Holy Spirit real quick. I don't know if you can hear it, but 1 second. So there we go. What's up, B Warrior? If you know his name, he knows you, and you know him. God of Spirit. Okay, just preaching. I'm not going to tell you what's in your hand, but I'm going to suggest this. You don't have to believe in God. You need to give a historical account the benefit of the doubt. Me giving the historical account the benefit of the doubt is part of the reason I'm an atheist. Realizing that such an important event in human history has no contemporary evidence for it is a good enough reason for me to say that it's false. Here come the excuse. I don't even think we're going to get an excuse. I think you just scrolled away. You got BTFO'd, got fucked up, you got thrashed, you got completely, totally embarrassed. But yeah, just look at creation. Creation isn't the proper word. Existence is. See, when you say creation, you're saying something that you know is intentionally created by something that created it. When you say existence, you just mean something that exists. If you're saying reality, you're saying something that's real, whether or not it's a creation or natural or not. So Just saying, oh, everything is created and that proves that there is a creator is just a circular argument. Have an unusual question. What is the purpose of your live stream? Oh, I love this question. No, it's not unusual. So I host these streams and make these videos to offer a look into an atheist and ex-Christian perspective, to encourage critical thinking, to learn new things, to provide an opportunity to engage fairly and honestly with someone with a different worldview, and have a bit of fun along the way. That's why I make these streams. Convert to Islam? No, thank you. I would rather step on an old rusty nail that pierces my foot at least half an inch deep out of nowhere than convert to Islam. Sorry. So, yeah. Really quickly though, I'm about to drink this beer. I'm about to chug it. Fuck this. Oh man, I already opened it. I can't shotgun it, but I'll just chug it. Why not? Cheers. L'chaim. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See here, can a painting exist without demanding a painter? No, it cannot actually, but show me why a painting is analogous to the universe, and I'll believe you that the universe is created. Until then, though, it sounds like just you're using a false equivalence and a fallacy and a composition fallacy. Cheers. I'm about to double cheers, as a matter of fact. If I burp really loud in y'all ears, I sincerely apologize. But yeah, it's Memorial Day. I don't have work today. I even took tomorrow off because self-care is important. And yeah. Oh shoot. LOL, this whole thing reeks of early AM depression. Yeah, that's Christian love for you. Are you an atheist in the there's no proof yet way or the I know there's no God way? In the there's no proof way. Definitely in the I know Christianity is false way, because any knowledge that you can derive about the reality around you has to meet a standard of evidence that the Christian claims not only A don't meet, but B are easily debunkable with no inconsistent facts about reality. Like, for instance, we can use science to determine that the flood didn't happen. We can use science to determine that people can't rise from the dead on their own. We can use science to determine that males cannot be born from females that didn't have male chromosomes introduced to them. So any claims of these things happening are going to be false, right? Every action has a reaction. Something did the first action. I have no reason to think that there was a first action, and neither do you. It's a making a false dilemma. Dilemma is the word I'm looking for. You know, if you believe that God can just exist without needing something to cause him, I can just believe that the universe exists without anything needing to cause it. Live streams get busy, makes me think of doing one myself, like everyone keeps asking me to do. If you have the patience for it, I think it's a really good discussion to have. I would encourage anybody who feels like this is a fruitful thing to discuss it for sure. How many scientists do you know? Online, I know 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6. In my real life, I know 1. The better question is, what will he do when Jesus Christ comes back? It's not a question of if, but when. If it's a question of when, like you're so certain of it that you're so confident, so certain, don't take that up with me. Don't even present the evidence to me. I encourage you, if you believe in God so wholeheartedly that you know he's going to come back, you know so much so that you have to question what I'm going to do when he comes back, not if he comes back. I encourage you to do a couple things really quickly. Take your phone, close the YouTube app or scroll away from my stream. Do whatever you do. Go to sleep. Get a good night's rest. Get 8 hours if at all possible. When you wake up, take that evidence that you have for God being real, email the Nobel Committee, and go claim your Nobel Prize. Go convert the entire planet. Don't just convert me. Don't just try to, grandstand in my chat. Go convert the entire planet. Present your evidence that makes you know that God is real. and see if it passes scrutiny. What do you believe then? Do you believe people came from apes or the earth is infinite? What's our root cell? Oh, these are, I'm so sorry. These are a bunch of different questions. Do I believe people came from apes? We are apes, taxonomically speaking. We're in the great ape family. Do I believe the earth is infinite? Not the planet, but the universe, I think, has always existed in some form. What's our root cell? I don't even know what what do you mean a root cell? So like, you think God can't defy logic? Correct. I think that anything that claims to defy the laws of logic themselves is definitionally going to be an absurdity. And so if God does that, then God is definitionally absurd. So I'm going to treat it the exact same way as I treat everything else that's definitionally absurd. If something breaks the law of identity, breaks the law of excluded middle, breaks the law of non-contradiction, then it's going to be definitionally illogical. And so I'm going to put it right in the same category as everything like unicorns or a squared circle or a sun that exists and doesn't exist. See here, it's not a matter of needing evidence. You seek information to support your bias and ignorance. It's pathetic and obvious. I find you shallow and pedantic. You insist upon yourself. Like, do you want it to be smart so bad it's not even funny? You might have faith in Jesus, but his teaching isn't to spread hate like other prophets. True on that prophet that you mentioned. In some regards, kind of, though. Like Luke 14:26 says to hate father, hate mother, hate everyone in order to be one of Jesus's disciples. So it's like, I guess in that regard, you can say so. But even if that's the case, sure, it's not a reason for me to believe Jesus is the Son of God. God follows the laws of logic. However, something coming from nothing is a logical fallacy. It's a physics fallacy for sure. But even beside that point, I didn't claim that something came from nothing, and neither did anybody in the chat. So I don't know why we're bringing it up. Too smart for your own good. I think if we're at the point of saying like you're too smart for something to make sense, I feel like maybe we should reevaluate our claims at that point. All right, Mr. Cast, you get no more attention from me tonight. Sounds like this isn't the stream for you. That's completely fine. We can watch whatever we want to, but if we're gonna come in my house and shit on my floor and break my good plates everywhere and take a piss on my rug and shout at the top of our lungs, then you're just not gonna be here. So, Mr. Cast, have a good rest of your night. I do appreciate you being here, but time out 24 hours. You will not be coming back. Skadoosh. It's what your position reduces to. No, it is not. Right? If you believe that in that like a cyclical hypothesis that the universe is an eternal cycle of expansion and contraction, then there is nowhere saying that everything came from nothing. It's a false dichotomy, and it is. You're just pretending like it's not. But it's a false dichotomy to say that it is impossible for somebody to not believe that a God with a mind caused everything. Or that means that they have to believe that nothing created everything. It's just at that point, I mean, it's a false dichotomy. Like, I don't understand why we have to debate it so much. You're brave? Oh, thank you, Miller Kool-Aid. I appreciate it. Thank you. What was before the Big Bang? Scientists don't know, so I don't know. If I had to take a guess, I would say that the stuff that formed the universe before it expanded has always existed in some form. But it's impossible to know one way or the other. Matter is something can't come from nothing. All right, Joey sounds like he's not tracking. We know what we do with non-trackers in the stream. If we can't have a discussion, if they want to stick to asinine positions, then it's just not the stream for them, right? This is the stream for productive discussion, whether or not we agree with each other. Joey desires to not be productive, therefore Joey Backs is going to get timed out for the rest of the stream. So have a good rest of your night, Joey. I do appreciate you being here, but unfortunately for you, you will be my next skadoosh of the evening. Skadoosh! Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Both sides are impossible to prove. You're just doing this for attention, so stop lying to yourself too, buddy. I'm doing this to have a discussion. And having the discussion with other parties is going to require their attention. So no shit, I'm going to need attention from the other party that I wish to discuss this with in order to have the discussion. If you want to have a discussion with somebody, but you want to hold this like macho, oh, I don't need anybody's attention to have a discussion, I invite you right now, take your phone, power it off, go talk to a wall, and see how productive that discussion is. Hare Krishna and be happy. I don't know if Hinduism's for me, but we'll see, right? Yes, what you say was before the Big Bang. I quite literally just answered you. And because I just answered you and don't want to repeat myself, respond to what I said with your next response. Or I just don't talk to you. It's that simple. Right? Just say, here's a question, here's my answer. Let me ask my question again. Just at that point, I don't know what to tell you. When you die, you'll see. I doubt it. Let's see here. Oh, Brandon Rosales is here to do that whole weird oh, you have faith that it's not true. Like it takes faith to have any sort of position whatsoever, even if your position is the default. Yeah, it's at that point, where do we go from there? Thank God you did not become Muslim or Hindu. I don't have an issue with the Hindus. I just from the outside in, I don't think what they believe in is true, but what can we do, right? Grashvu is crashing out for Christ. So Grashvu needs a little break. Timeout. I'm only give you 5 minutes. Go put some water in your face. Go grab a snack. Go take a piss or something. But yeah, you'll come back in a bit. Skadoosh. Have you ever fasted before? I have fasted before, yeah. It sucked. It sucked. It was funny. I remember this one time I was fasting, and it was the day my mom so happened to bring pizza back from work. And for those who don't know, pizza is my favorite food. And so I'm just sitting there waiting for midnight. For me, it was like a midnight to midnight sort of deal. Just with that one, I've done it for like 5 days a couple times before, but for that one, it's like a midnight to midnight, and just like having to know that there's just like 3 slices of pizza in the fridge waiting for me. It's just, it sucked. Anyway, let me do something really halal, not halal, haram really quickly and take another chug of beer. Give me a second. Cheers, l'chaim, sloucha, diboja, what else? I know there's people in here from multiple countries. What do you say before taking a drink? The point is, we go nowhere. You're just going to talk in circles. Brandon Rosales, if you think this is like talking in circles, then it sounds like this isn't the stream for you. If you don't want to add productively to the discussion, that's completely fine. But you don't get to be here anymore. So put user in timeout 24 hours. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Do appreciate that. Thank you for being in chat for the time that you were in chat. But maybe I should free you up, right? Because, like, if we want to say, oh, you're just talking in circles, the discussion's meaningless. Okay, fine. But why have a meaningless discussion? I think it's not meaningless, so I'm going to have it. Skull, yeah. Let me do I think that's Norwegian. Norwegian. Well, yeah, skull, cheers, yeah, all that good stuff. 1 second. Oh, yeah. We don't get to project emotions onto me. Get the fuck out of my chat. Skadoosh. Take care. Have a good one. No, I don't do that whole concern trolling. I know you're in praying, brother. I'm sorry. I get it. Like, bye. Concern troll elsewhere, not the stream. Sorry if I missed what you thought of my connection between the painting and the universe. I didn't see it. Can I smoke meth in the Lord's name? Hell yeah, dude. Smoke that meth. Hell fucking yeah. Which theory of what was before the Big Bang do you believe in? Personally, I think that a cyclical hypothesis makes most sense, that the universe is in an eternal cycle of expanding. Sorry. Oh, shoot. 1 second. Yeah. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Give me a minute. And that was disgusting. I do sincerely apologize. In an eternal cycle of expanding until it gets so large that things become too far apart, and then it starts to contract again until things are too hot, too dense, and then it expands again. I think it's like an eternal cycle. Read your Bible. I've read the Bible twice. The book with talking animals. I've read it twice. It forces you to act a certain way out of guilt. It's very clever, really. If you're talking about the Bible, yeah, it's pretty awful. Pretty awful. Why'd you switch? So I left my faith after about a year and a half of deconstruction. And deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe, interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, and checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. And ultimately, for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. I think the discussion is meaningless. I'm not reading the rest of it. You can. Yeah, that's fair. Thank you for saying that. You can go though. You can go. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. You think discussion's meaningless for whatever justification it is? I'm not going to take that from you. I'll even go so far as to say, ultimately, who's to say, right? But do you then need to be here where I'm trying to have a meaningful discussion? Absolutely not. You're going to pray for me? That's good for you, right? Did you read the New Testament? I've read the New Testament twice. What makes you think you were a Christian? Believing in Jesus, Son of God, rose from the dead for your sins after 3 days, all that good stuff. I don't know. Even if you leave your faith, why act like a crap doctor prescribing meth to it? I'm not prescribing meth. Somebody said, can they smoke meth in God's name? And I say, hell yeah. Smoke the meth. It's not prescribing it to him. You're a non-believer, but your household is very religious. That's how it was back when I was, there was like a very short period before I moved out where, I'm so sorry, give me a second, where I didn't believe, but everybody else in my family did. It was kind of odd, but now it's just me and my house, so I can say that 100% of my house is atheist. It's just me and a cat, and I can guarantee neither of us believe in a God. Have you considered Pastafarianism? Of course I have, dude. Amen, man. Jesus Christ loves you all. Oh wait, no, you're the same dude from earlier. No, get the fuck out of here, dude. We're not gonna keep coming back on different accounts. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. Why do you have so many? You have profile pictures on all of these. You have profile pictures on every single last one of them. How the fuck are we doing this? Anyway, bye. Take care. Have you read the entire Bible? I've read it twice. You can believe you're forgiven or not. I don't think there's anything to forgive me for, ultimately. Do you not see that Allah sends down rain from the sky? I'm not reading the rest of that, no. Who would win in the oiled up twerk off, Albert Einstein or LeBron James? I feel like LeBron's got more hip movement. I'll give that to LeBron. So you don't believe there's a spirit world? I don't believe in a spirit world, personally, no. When did you originally come to Christianity, and why did you come to Christianity originally? I mean, it was about as far back as I can remember. I was indoctrinated, told the Christian doctrine as the truth back before I was, when whatever years old. I couldn't put a date on it. So I hope that's two birds with one stone. When, as far back as I can remember, why indoctrination? What made me change? Lack of evidence is what made me change. Look for evidence. The evidence wasn't good, so that's why I left. Also, Shannon, do not spam, please. That's it's the one thing I ask of you. How did your family react when you told them, or did you never tell them? I told my mom, and she told everyone else. She didn't take it too well. She told everybody else. I don't know if she told my dad or if he ever found out. Like they were. I'm gonna get Shannon out of here really quickly. You can take a minute. Yeah, take a minute right now. Let's calm that down. Yeah, let's calm that down really quickly. But I told my mother. She didn't take it too well. Don't know if my dad ever found out. They were split up when I deconstructed. And he's dead now, so I don't know if he ever found out. Told my sister, my brother. Neither of them cared about it, so it didn't. Guess it backfired. Then of God's needs materials goes against the definition of God. If we want to define God as something immaterial, sure, but until there's any justification for believing that thing exists, then I have no good reason to. Unless we want to argue that God's just a concept, in which case I would agree. Why'd you leave? Lack of evidence is why I left. Were you fully Christian, like focused, or were you just identifying as a Christian? I was fully focused for sure. I was witnessing and shit, and I was doing all the stuff. Look at you banning everyone as well. I'm not banning everybody, just the people who are intent on not adding to the discussion, right? Like if we're going to come in say, "Oh, this is all meaningless. Just this conversation means nothing. I'm just going to antagonize you and just call you out of your name for no reason and just all this extra shit. I don't want you here. I don't know. How can non-life create life? Through abiogenesis. And plus the definition of life that we have is an organism, something with the ability to metabolize and self-replicate. Are you saying that God is an organism? What's the purpose of life? I don't think there's an objective purpose. I think it's up to you as an individual to figure it out for yourself. Read the Bible. I've read the Bible twice. A God man banning people. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Can you share what made you believe that there's no supernatural? Just want to learn. I just didn't see any evidence for the supernatural being real. That's why I left. Jesus still loves you. Good for him, right? Do I support elbow guards or guards for your knee? I mean both, right? Like, you should guard your knee if like you're, I don't know, like it just depends on the activity. Oh, it's atheist life. Atheist life is it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. All right, you can go to. Yeah, if we're here to not add to the discussion, why do you think I want to have you here? Skadoosh! Have a good rest of your day. But no, we are skadooshing everyone who does not wish to add to the discussion. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Oh, I want to have a discussion. I'm not going to add to the discussion. All right, I'm going to get you out of here. Oh, look at you banning people. It's like what do we do with this, you know? Is it okay I play with my wiener to Eevee Rule 34? Ew. Gross. Ugh. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Low punny is better. So in future, if you see evidence, will that change your belief? Yeah, of course it will. Or at least I think it will. I would hope that it does. I would hope I'm not so cognitively dissonant that it doesn't, right? But if I can go from believing in a thing that I dedicated my life to not believing in it based on the evidence not being as good as I used to think that it was going to be, then I would hope that I could address the evidence more honestly if they were to ever emerge. Did the whole deconstruction thing encounter Jesus in a real way a few years back? That's good for you. I'm glad for you. God of War is bad. I don't know what God of War looks like. Give me a second. With a name like God of War, you got to be hot though, right? God of War. I get it. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, no, that's valid. You just admitted you're agnostic. I'll openly. We don't have to say like, "Oh, I got you. You're agnostic." Yeah, I am agnostic. I'm agnostic as well as an atheist. They make two different claims, so they're not mutually exclusive. Are you shadow banned? I don't know. Are you shadow banned? Jack Baker, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Do you believe abiogenesis is still happening today? I think maybe, right? I know evolution's still happening. I don't know if abiogenesis is though. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not yeah, I'm not versed enough to tell you that honestly. That's contradictory. It's not contradictory, and I'm going to prove it right now. So agnostic means I don't know if there's a God or not. Atheist means I don't believe that there's a God. One's a claim on your knowledge, the other is a claim on your belief. Knowledge is not the same as belief, therefore they're not mutually exclusive. And to give an example of that, I'm going to ask you two questions. Do you know whether or not there's a Wallace and Gromit mug in my closet right now? Do you know that to be the case? Now, your answer is going to be no. You don't know me. You don't know what kind of items I own. So you're not going to know for certain whether or not there's such a mug in my closet right now. Now, my second question is, do you believe that there is a Wallace and Gromit mug in my closet right now? And from there, you can look at the evidence, kind of maybe think about the type of dude I am, think about why I would buy such a thing, and then make your guess on whether or not I would ever buy such a thing. But there could be two entirely different answers to that. You could not know while also believing that to be the case. Also, for anybody curious, no, there's not a Wallace and Gromit mug in my closet right now. Have you ever prayed for your food? I prayed over it. Yeah, I used to say grace. Have you ever managed TED anything? What do you mean? I heard someone say if God isn't real, we could waste our life here following him. But if he is real, we could waste our eternity. I don't know you, but God worked in my life and it seemed impossible. It didn't for me, so it doesn't seem impossible for me. But even beside that point, the proposed pros and cons of something without evidence isn't a good enough reason to believe in the thing, even if you could choose your belief, which people can't just do arbitrarily. Um, like, let's say, for instance, there was a God that existed that wants people to not believe in any God. Like, he would, you would be living closest to that God's desires by not believing in God at all. And so, me as an atheist, I would be good. And everybody else who's a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, or any sort of theist, they'd be fucked. Does that mean you should drop your beliefs just because this God is possibly true? No. Simultaneously, just because we claim that there is a God that will reward you for believing he exists and punish you for not believing in it, should I automatically believe in it? No, of course not. So, yeah. Is there any evidence in the Bible, at least to your eyes? I would say that the Bible is just historical fiction, basically. It's talks about some real people and some real places, but it tells a completely, totally made up narrative about it. Favorite movie? Probably Moonlight from 2016. It's my favorite movie. One of my biggest comfort movies though is God Bless America from, I think it's 2011, starring Joel Murray. It's a dark comedy made by Bobcat Goldthwait, the comedian. Yeah. Do you fear death? I don't fear the fact that I'm gonna die. I fear how it's gonna happen. That's about it. You know, it's just, if it's some real slow, painful shit, that's gonna suck. But I'm completely fine with the idea that A, I'm gonna die eventually, and B, the world's gonna carry on without me. Got two back-to-back comments saying Jesus is very real and then Jesus not real. W. I believe one of those to be true. I'm not gonna say which one though. Favorite music genre? I don't have a single favorite music genre. If I had like only a few people watching, I would show my whole playlist, but you know, it's all over the place. You fear pain? Yeah, I think everybody fears pain. Do you believe in the Big Bang Theory, egg theory, or something else entirely? I acknowledge that the Big Bang happened. There's more than enough evidence supporting it, like CBMR, redshift, and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I acknowledge that the Big Bang happened, but I mean, I guess hypothetically, you could believe that the Big Bang happened and that a God caused it, right? What kind of proof will you require to know that God exists? A logical argument would work. A some sort of science or something else physical that proves it would work. But I think the most optimal would be God coming down and showing himself to everybody and be like, "Here I am," you know. Debate Theist Brooks. Theist Brooks is one of the most morally bankrupt, intellectually dishonest pieces of shit within this space. No, I would never debate Theist Brooks. It would be a massive waste of my time. I'm not a fan of his. I'm barely even in the realm of respecting him. He's a choir preacher to a new age of Christian Zoomers, and that's about it. You know, tell them what they want to hear, justify atrocious shit, and call it a day. It's just not for me. No, I would, a life where I don't interact with Theist Brooks at all is going to be automatically better than a life where I do. Explain abiogenesis. You can, yeah, you can Google it. Honestly, it's Wikipedia. In the articles and the sources will do a lot better job than I could right now. But basically, the synthesization of, or the synthesization or synthesizing, I don't know, of the last universal common ancestor over the course of millions and millions of years of natural RNA formation, lipid layer formation, things like that. But if you want to know like the way that it occurred, the way that it's like know about the model, then that'll do a better job than I ever could. Do I like Slipknot? Not really. Not really. I'm not a fan of Slipknot. I like some metal, but Slipknot's not one of them. Do you eat pork? Yeah, I love pork. I'd say it's one my second favorite protein. Yeah, I'm a big fan of pork. I like bacon. You know, big fan of bacon. Big bacon dude. You know, I could never give up bacon. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I want to raise a pig eventually. Like the best version of my life is one where I got like a house on the beach and a house big enough to raise animals in. A pig would be among one of the animals I have, and so. But for me, it's like if I'm raising an animal, I don't want to eat the animal's meat. Not that animal in particular or in general. Like for instance, I do want to eventually raise chickens, but if I raise chickens as like pets, then I don't want to. I would swear off a chicken while I'm overseeing chickens. I couldn't do both at the same time. But all this to say, yeah, I do like pork. Let's see here. In order for something to be created, there has to be a creator. That's a circular argument. When you say created, you're talking about something that went from not existing to existing by way of a creator. So here's your circle. The universe is creation. Creation proves that there's a creator. This creator made creation. That creation proves this creator, and it becomes a circular argument. So, no, it's use the word existence, use the word reality. That's more intentional, but just arbitrarily saying that the thing that we're trying to prove is true, which proves the thing to be true, is unfounded. Chicken, fish, beef, pork in that order. I can't eat fish, so it's not on my radar. For me, it's chicken overall, pork overall, and then beef overall. But funny enough, my second favorite food of all time is steak, which is beef. So, but in general, beef is just too heavy. You know, it becomes logically consistent. I mean, again, like it doesn't become logically consistent because it's a circle. It's a circular argument. The conclusion grounds its premise. The conclusion is grounded solely by its premise, and the premise works toward its conclusion. It becomes a circle. Like if I were to say the universe is not created, as evidenced by there not being a creator, therefore it's not created, which is evidence of it not being a creator, that would be a circular argument too. Let's see here. No, it's not circular. You're trying to turn it all the way down. This proves you never read the Bible because God is an uncreated creator. That's the basic tenet of Christianity. I'm not getting. Okay, so I know this is how I know we're just like in tart land. There was nothing about the argument that the universe is creation that's an indictment of the idea that God is eternal. I would really hope, if we're going to waste my time, that unless we want to waste my time, that we would listen to what I'm saying and follow along rather than just trying to bring an entirely separate argument into it. Not a circular argument because X is X because of X, that's circular. X is X because of X would be the law of identity, which would be axiomatically true. That wouldn't be circular. That would be just self-defining axiomatically. And sure, that would be the case. But if there is ultimately a verdict of whether or not the universe is natural or created, and you draw that it is indeed created, that's your conclusion. Based on the fact that it is created, which is again your conclusion, then yes, that becomes circular. I don't know how else to communicate that to you. I could even draw it out for you in Microsoft Paint if you want me to. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to do that really quickly. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. You know what? Nah, fuck it. If we can't visualize a circle in our mind where there's a premise that's equidistant from the conclusion, then at that point, I don't know. I'm just probably talking to a 12-year-old. No one said the universe is creation. I said God was the uncreated creator that created the universe. So here's the thing, right? Somebody did say the universe is creation. They're the person that I'm talking to right now. You said, I'm going to even scroll up to get it, and I quote, no, it's not circular. When me talking about the circularity of this other person's argument, that's not your argument, and you saying that their argument is not circular, means that you are jumping in on their argument. If you're jumping in on their argument, then what you're arguing is the thing that they're arguing. But you're arguing something separate. So either jump in on an entirely separate argument about whether or not God can be eternal, which I would even go so far as to say I'd agree with, or admit that you just jumped in on an erroneous argument. But to say like, oh, somebody else's argument of creation being evidence of a creator is not circular, and then backing it up with a whole other nonsense bullshit argument, it's just not going to cut it for me. I'm sorry. Maybe we should stop jumping into random shit that we, you know, like just jumping into shit that doesn't involve us, if that's the case. I don't care about their argument. I'm pointing out what you said isn't consistent with your claim of beliefs. Rick, you can go for the night, actually. Just take care. Have a good rest of your night. If you don't care about their argument, sure, cool, but then don't fucking comment on their argument, right? I'm talking to somebody else and calling their argument circular. Don't say their argument isn't circular or no, it isn't circular when the whole fucking thing I'm talking about is their argument, and then talk about some other shit. You dumbass. Get out of my chat. Skadoosh. Have a good rest of your night. Grash, bye. Take care. You can go. Mommy and daddy have no job. Get the fuck out. Holy fuck. God damn. Anyway. Do you think that God is the type of person that deserves someone's privacy through his omniscient and omnipresent? Is the type of person that deserves someone's privacy? I'm not sure what you're asking, to be honest with you. See here, guys, don't bother. I've been here a while, and when someone tries discussing, he simply blocks them. I even give the justification, clear as day, for why I block the people that I block. You know, the fact that there are people in the chat right now who disagree with me, who have no issue not getting timed out because they're making bad arguments. Fair enough, right? Someone makes a decent enough argument. Okay, fair enough. Let's talk about it. This is what I want. But if somebody's going to jump in on somebody else's argument and then expect to stay around because like, oh, I'm going to call their argument not circular by way of a completely separate shit that had nothing to do with their argument and then continue to defend it, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't like it, fuck off. As a matter of fact, yeah, it's just skadooshin time. Let's just fuck it. Let's do it. I don't know why they keep knocking me off my square. I don't know why they keep doing it, but fuck it. Quintuplex, have a good hide user on this channel. You will never come back. I am just completely uninterested in you. Bye bye. Take care. You will not come back. Who's next? Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Let's just do it. Who's next? Let's roll some people up real quick. Give me a minute. Wait. We at this part of the evening. I don't know why we'd have to do it. I don't know why every fucking stream has to turn into this, but fuck it. Let's do it. Give me a minute. Is it time to purge? I think it might be time, dude. I think it might be time. I think it might be time, dude. Anyway. Evolution is what stumps most Christians. In my experience, yeah, especially the fundamentalist ones. As a former Christian who used to believe in evolution, there were some who were like, at least not so brain dead that they just ignore science, right? Can you get a ban? That is crazy. Just because you asked nicely, Ryan, I got you. Just because you asked nicely, I think that's fair. I'm gonna give you a polite skadoosh I'm gonna shake your hand, ruffle your hair a little bit, pat you on the back, and then say, have a good rest of your night. You are the politest skadoosh of the evening. Skadoosh! Take care. Have a good one. But yeah, if you're going to ask nicely, that's fair. Just take care. Maybe change your title. No thanks. I think the title is good enough. Bone bending, you are next. Wait, let me play something really quickly. Bone bending. Wait. You're next. Wait, one sec. Bone bending. Them other three fuck boys. Fuck them all, they fucking suck. What's up, they told, bitch? You always on my mind. When I ride through the east side, I wanna see you. When I see you, when I. Hell yeah. You always on my mind. You always on my mind. I don't see you. I don't see you. Where you at? Where'd you go? I'm telling Ace about this. Julio's dead, man. It don't matter. I'm not taking any sides with that. I just think that's a good diss track. Perfect for skadooshing people. All right, back to the discussion at hand. While you dodging the question, you say you won't debate Theist Brooks because he's a moral proof, the immorality without personal preference. Okay, yeah, bye-bye, take care. Without personal preference. Without personal preference. You ask me the question, you're going to, it entails me as a personal agent. No shit, it's going to be personal preference. Dude's justifying the hell doctrine. Dude justified the slavery in Leviticus. Dude justified the slavery in Exodus. Fuck them. Fuck them. Huck. Tua. I'm reporting you. I don't give a shit. Let's see if it goes through. Let's see if it goes through. The only reason my stream's going to turn off randomly is if my PC shuts down. It might happen. But, yeah. Let's see if it goes through. Hello, trust in Jesus Christ. Don't rely on your own understanding. Yada, yada. Don't use your brain. Don't use your brain. Just believe in my religion. No, thank you. More atoms in our bodies and stars in the sky. So from the perspective of an atom, you are a universe. Aww. This makes me think the universe could be a living organism. I see the analogy for sure, but I just don't. I see it as a non sequitur to think that there are there's a humongous amount of living parts in your body, therefore the entire universe is just something similar to our bodies. I feel like it's a false analogy. As a Muslim, I have a question: how was the universe created? I think the universe has always existed, personally. We don't know past the point of the Big Bang, so it's all hypothetical, but if you ask me personally, I think that the stuff that makes up the universe has always existed. In the past, did you ever see yourself becoming an atheist? Absolutely not. There was this one. I mean, she's a woman, right? So it feels weird calling her a woman because when I last talked to her, we were both kids. But a young lady, sure, she's still a young lady to this day. She's like should be like 28 now. But she was an atheist back when I met her in middle school. Really good friend of mine, and I was like scared up for her and shit. I'm like, oh, how could she not believe in God? It's like so apparent and everything and all that good stuff. So yeah, going from what I used to think about atheists to now being an atheist myself, I just did not see it happen. Jesus' real turn to Jesus. Take it up with the Nobel Committee. Don't take it up with me. Well, you have faith that everything fell by chance. The gravity 9.8 meters. Okay, so Aloysius Vincent Pwansing. So what is the objective standard that the universe meets that allows us to determine whether or not it was fine-tuned? Bro believes in Muhammad. I don't believe. I mean, I believe he existed, but I don't believe he was the holy prophet. What's with all these antichrist and Trump hating streams lately? I don't know if I'd call my stream an antichrist stream. But then again, I guess it's not up for me to decide. Anti-Trump though, I think being anti somebody who was convicted of rape is or at least found liable in a sexual assault lawsuit is going to be a justifiable position, right? Didn't you become Christian yesterday, or was I dreaming? No, you were dreaming. I don't do that. I don't do that. Speaking of which, I think it's time to cull the chat really quickly. I think it's time to prune the chat a little bit, separate the strong from the weak. Rip, are you here? Rip, are you here? Never convicted. No, he wasn't convicted. I spoke out of term. He was found liable in a lawsuit, which means that the court found that he was guilty of the thing, but, and liable to have to pay out the victim, but that it's past the point of statute of limitations. So did it, but, not within the statute to find him responsible enough to go to prison for it. Oh, you're here? Yeah, I think it's time to prune the stream really quickly. I think it's time to separate the strong from the weak. I guess let me promote my shit before I do this, because I think I've just been convinced of Christianity being true. So, before we start, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Trovo, DLive, Nemo TV, Threads, Blue Sky, Clapper, Lemonade, Zhao Hongshu. Join the subreddit, join the Discord, add me on Snapchat, all that good stuff. But yeah, I think I've been convinced that God exists. I've read all these arguments, and I feel like I think I feel Jesus tugging on me a little bit, tugging on my collar. I've been convicted in the name of God. So I'm gonna say a quick prayer really quickly. You know, who are we? But who needs some prayer in the chat? If you need some prayer really quickly from a new Christian, I would love, and I mean absolutely love, to pray for you really quickly. So dumb. Anyway, yeah, who needs some prayer? Jesus is ready for playtime. I think Jesus is ready for playtime. Also, Realness Unscripted, thank you for subscribing. I promise you, it'll all make sense in a couple minutes. I promise you. You need prayer? What do you need prayer for? How can I pray for you, Brother Rip? What was your turning point? Somebody said that I was just muting and timing out people that were pressing me intellectually, and I agree with them now. Yeah, they were right about that. I wasn't muting them for valid reasons. I was muting them because I was a little bitch being an atheist. So yeah, it's time. You pray that God spawns you in some new carts. Okay, well, that's selfish as fuck. I mean, as frick, my bad. Sorry, God. So yeah, it's time. You just prayed in the stream switch. Oh yeah, your prayer is about to come true. So yeah, did I add this? Wait 1 second. Give me a minute. If you haven't been here in the streams before, I promise you what's about to take place is 100% real. God just convinces people, you know. Sometimes he tugs at your heartstrings. Sometimes he makes you realize that he is indeed real. And so I have to do the honest thing and come to Father God. So wait 1 second. Wait. Oh, give me a minute. Media file, where are you? Media file, there you are. Monitor off, no. Mute output, monitor and output. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Come to Father God. I'm here to come to Father God. Here we go. All right. Come to you today. I am your humble servant. I beseech you. I love you. Love me as hard as you love the rest of humanity. Teach me, Father. Brother Rip needs new cards, Father. Brother Rip needs new cards. May he get these cards so that he may be elevated in your holy name. In your holiest of names. In your holy name, Father. this chat. Lead them from their ways. I am your servant. Come in me. Come in me. Come in me. Come in me. Put me on my knees. I am yours. Father, bless Brother Rip with new cards, Father. Use me as the vessel for your Holy Spirit so that I may heal the world where Rip does not have cards, Father. Use me. Come in me. Reach in me. Make me a puppet. Go down on me. Fill me up. Fill me. Fill me. Oh. 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 Come in me. Right there, right there. Yes. In Jesus' holy name I pray. In Jesus' holy name I pray. Amen. Come at me, Father. Come at me so hard. Come at me, Daddy God. I am yours. I'm your little puppet, Father. I am yours to break and to beat at your command. I give myself to you. Amen. 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 Aftercare. Aftercare. Oh my God, again? In Jesus' holy name I pray. Amen. Amen. For anyone thinking that this is satire, for anyone thinking this is fake, you have fallen away. You have fallen away. God tells you in 2 Thessalonians not to fall away, and yet you have fallen. How could you fall? How could you fall? Who are you? God made us to love. Lust is a vice, it's a disordered use of his gift. Amen. Amen. There was no lust in that. That was pure, total passion for Daddy God. Let's get an amen. Let's get an amen. Let's get an amen. 8 women. They, them in the chat. All right. Let's get an 8 women. Oh, I feel stretched by the Holy Spirit. I feel came on by Jesus Christ, and I feel filled up by Daddy God. Amen. If you think that was fake, you think this is what, a joke? This is a game? You think this is a game? Is that what you think this is? You think I'm just playing around? You think I do this for my health? I'm trying to save you all. I'm trying to save you all. I'm trying to save you. Let me save you. Instead, God saved me. Took the holy load. Amen. Yes, I did. I took the holiest of loads in my holes. You know what that load is? The cross. Jesus says, pick up your cross and bear it. It's a load to bear. God gives you loads, and you take those loads. All right? God doesn't give you a load you can't handle. I took God's load. All right? Save me, Sky Daddy, for I have sinned. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, my Daddy God uses you. Oh, he uses you like a puppet. He just don't let you go. Oh, he just don't let you go. Oh, and he uses you. Oh, he just don't stop. Yes. Amen. Oh, all right. I think that's enough. I think that's plenty. I think that'll do. That'll do. That's plenty. That'll do. I think I got my point across. C Money YT, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You rebuke all evil from my life in Jesus Christ's name. Amen, Sister Lizzie. Amen. Amen. Anyway, hopefully, all the people who are pearl clutchers, who are bad fruit, have scrolled scrolled away from the stream, and we're left with people that can take a joke. What do you mean we're brainwashed? We've asked us that questions. That's what the point of the stream. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. The title says something different than the image on the screen. I'm confused. It's a bit. It's a bit. It's a bit. I'm going to deny that in the future, but it's a bit. I'm saying Christianity is a bad mindset. It's very misinterpreted and should be taken only as advice. I don't think there's any good advice to take from Christianity necessarily. If you say there's no God, come on, look at the miracles. Are you brainwashed? What miracles? Do you think the universe exists? I think the universe has always existed, personally. Hope he wasn't too much. No, I trust me. You're good. Trust me when I say you're fine. Back to the questions for why do you do the stream? Oh yeah, absolutely. So I host these streams and make these videos to offer a look into an atheist and ex-Christian perspective, and to encourage critical thinking, to learn new things myself, to provide an opportunity to engage fairly and honestly with someone with a different worldview, and have a little bit of fun along the way. That's why I do these streams. That's why I do them. I do them because I feel there's a conversation that needs to be had, you know? And this conversation is one I'm dedicated to having until I can't have it anymore, or until some tragedy strikes. Or until I honestly, I don't know, just like, never mind, I'm not going to say that. Former Christian means you were never a true Christian. Whatever you got to tell yourself, MB. How are you alive? My body systems work. My integumentary, muscular, skeletal, circulatory, respiratory, nervous. Let me see if I can remember them actually. Excretory, digestive, endocrine, immune, and reproductive systems all work. I think that's are there 11? Because I counted 11. Talk to Muslim Lantern. I would rather blow my goddamn brains out. If you think God doesn't exist, give me proof. The complete and total lack of evidence for God, coupled with a lack of claims for God being the default that everyone believes when they're born, shows sufficiently that there's no good reason to believe in God. Do you eat hamburgers? Is that a restaurant? The way you said it made it sound like a restaurant. If so, no. If you mean just like the way you eat hamburgers, I mean, sometimes, yeah, right? Last year to watch videos by William Donahue. If it's just an apologist, I need more apologetics in my life. Like I need a hole in my head. I do not need apologetics right now. Universe is and always was. The finite nature of time as a Christian propaganda. I agree 100%. It's against the universe to have a brain and believe in ghosts or gods. I would say through sheer technicality, no, but I do think it's against the universe that these things are true for sure. I think in a universe that gives way to things being the way that they are, that it would give way to people having these false beliefs. You are God? No, I'm a human being. Who created the Big Bang? I don't think it was a who. I think it was a what caused. And to answer that question, I don't know. The physicists, the people who have these degrees in this field, who get paid the money to research these things, they don't know. So I don't know. If I had to take a guess, though, I would say that the stuff that makes up the universe has always existed. What's red and looks like a bucket? A red bucket. Who would you believe? A person saying something about someone or the person himself? I'd believe the person. I'd believe the person. That's just me, though. Dude, we were made by God? No, you were made by your parents having sex. That's how you were made. Your mommy and your daddy loved each other very. They might not have loved each other. I don't know. They were, whatever it was, they were feeling some type of way towards one another. And they did a thing. And mommy got pregnant. And they popped you out 9 months later. What denomination were you? I was in the Baptist church until I was 16, and then I was in the Apostolic church until I was 18. Red and blue shift show Big Bang doesn't make sense. Red and blue shift? I haven't heard of blue shift, but red shift is definitive evidence that we can see how far away things are based on the stretching of their light by the time they get to us. How are humans created? I mean, the first set or couple. So humans evolved from prior ancestors. These prior ancestors evolved from prior ancestors, and ultimately, the last universal common ancestor was formed via abiogenesis. Or at least that's where the evidence leads us so far. But no, there was no I mean, I guess maybe temporally speaking there had to be like maybe a first, but there's no like clear defining moment where we went from not human to human. Speciation's a lot more nuanced than that. Look at the trees unironically at that point. Do you believe you have a soul? If so, would you consider it immaterial? No, I don't believe in a soul personally. I think that souls are made up. I have no reason to believe in such a thing. Energy can never be destroyed. That's a fact. I mean, we're kind of missing a couple steps here, but yeah, I do agree with that. I say energy can't be created or destroyed. So, if energy exists, then energy has always existed. There's a verse where Jesus is hungry and saw a tree and had to go check if there's fruit on it. God would neither get hungry nor would not know something. Dude, yeah, solid. Yeah, solid. And then he went on to curse the fig tree for not having any figs on it. Like, why does God get angry? Especially for a fig tree that he made. In atheist terms are ancestor. I'm not gonna say I'm glad you retracted that, but maybe you're like doing like talk to text or something. I don't know, but Anne's sister was kind of funny. How was life created after Earth was created? Abiogenesis. Define a soul? I couldn't tell you. Can dark matter be harvested and turned into energy? I don't think with the current understanding of physics, no. I, comma, am leaving this liar alone. Well, this isn't an airport, so you don't have to announce your departure. You've never been born, nor will never die. You have never been to sleep, nor will ever wake up. I feel like ultimately, if you're talking about like in the terms of the matter that makes you up, maybe sure, but as far as like an organism, obviously not, right? Not sure if you want an honest response for the fig tree thing. I'll be honest with you. No, it wouldn't matter if I don't believe that Jesus was the son of God. I couldn't care less why he cursed the fig tree. If first man and woman didn't have ancestors, where's your evidence? I didn't say that first man and woman didn't have ancestors. I'm saying that speciation isn't something that's like one day no species of this particular, no definable species, and all of a sudden this species, right? It's not a defined point where things go from having traits that allow them to be considered one species versus another. It's a lot more gradual than that for sure, especially for an organism that reproduces as slowly as humans do. Use voice to text as much more fast. Yeah, I got you. No, you're chilling. Your your speech to text fucked that up. When we die and we stay in the ground, how boring. I think it is boring. But I don't think you would be around to experience the boredom. Acid E, weed, or shrooms, 2CB, DMT, like together. Um, hmm. I think shrooms, at least at a higher dose, with DMT would be kind of redundant. Even if it weren't redundant, like 2CB on top of that, like it's just plain psychedelic. Acid with weed would really probably make the the trip a little uncontrollable. Um, but yeah, candy flipping it with some X, yeah, that'll be pretty cool. I'm gonna go with the first one. If your plane was going down, what you think? What if? No. As evidenced by the fact that fun fact about me, I have gastroesophageal reflux disease or GERD. That's like acid reflux, but it happens randomly. And there's been a couple times where I've woken up choking in my sleep. And the time I got closest to like actually passing out and just like not trying to breathe anymore and dying and shit, I can honestly, with 100% truth, you just have to take my word for it, that God wasn't on my mind. It was like, um, how long am I going to be here until my family finds out, and how are they going to react to it? That's what was on my mind. So I can say, at least if that's any indication, that I'm not going to be thinking, oh man, what if I'm wrong? Oh man, what if this God in this book that cares so much about you believing in it is true? I'm going to think, what are the people around me going to think about it? Honestly, don't blame me for leaving Christianity. It took a lot, but yeah, it's I'm glad you see it from my perspective a little bit. Uh, your girlfriend has GERD. Have you found anything that helps? Nexium is great. Very low cost solution, but it tastes kind of gross. Is baking soda. I try not to use it too often because apparently it's bad for your blood pressure if you also have hypertension like I do, because it's just like sodium bicarbonate. But it does wonders. For me, I just try to avoid eating either big meals, really fatty meals, really spicy meals, or really sour meals or acidic meals before I go to bed. And I've seen, because at the very least, if it like comes back up, I'll be awake and not try to choke to death in my sleep. Right. Also, points for my body being created perfectly by God to choke to death. Right. So when you die, you just die. I think you just die when you die. Personally, yeah. The Bible is a story of us and the universe, not a true story. If different people saw it with their own eyes and were all willing to die for it, this means that what they saw was true. No, it does not. If that were the standard that we were using to decide whether or not something was true, then I would be either part of the People's Temple because of them drinking cyanide laced flavor rape in Georgetown, Guyana, back in 1978. I would be a part of the Branch Dravidians because they had a siege against the ATF in Waco, Texas, back in the early 90s. Or I'd be a part of Al Qaeda because they hijacked some planes and flew them in a building and killed 3,000 people back in 2001. So no, I would really hope that we don't accept that somebody's willingness to die for their religious beliefs constitute their beliefs being true. No, you can see my messages. I've already responded, dude. I'm not watching William Donahue. The answer is no. Keep crashing out and you just get muted. I don't know what to tell you, man. But the answer is no, so it will be no. What do you think Flavor Aid tastes like? I would imagine Kool-Aid, but a lot more chalky and I don't know, probably a little bit more flavorful. I don't know. Wasn't it grape? I couldn't tell you the flavor of it personally. People always say God is real, but they have no proof. Yeah, if people thought like they had definitive proof for God being real, like just email it to the Nobel Committee. You seem to talk a lot, but without stating actual evidence. It seems you like hearing your voice and ego of pretending to know so much. Well, MB, I'm not even going to mute you, dude. You're not worth my time. Just continue to chirp away in the comments. Here's what I'm going to do, MB. I'm going to see how out for attention you are. I'm going to stop responding to you, period. I'm going to see if you stick around. Let's see if that happens. Also, vinegar water as well as lemon water. For me, those are going to have the opposite effect because they're acidic. For me, the biggest things that'll make me, have acid reflux is eating a lot of food, really fatty food, really spicy food, or really acidic food. So, uh, vinegar and lemon wouldn't help too much, but it's because you want to neutralize the acid so it doesn't like bubble back up. But that might just be me. Great me. I liked what's my favorite Nirvana song? Underneath the bridge. Something in the way. Yeah. I wonder if you keep that same energy face to face. I would like to think I would, right? Because I would more so be. It would be impossible to feel like shame at being wrong about it when I would feel so angry at the fact that I used to dedicate all my being to something that chose to let me flounder and not give me evidence and then ultimately decide that I suffer for it. Like that would be way too petty, way too narcissistic, and way too lazy for me to not be angry at. Bleach is very basic, so it should help. I'll try that out next time. Thank you for the recommendation, Rip. A little bit of throw some of that in my water. Hell yeah. Look it up. Yes, they are acidic, but it's no. Probably, right? I'll I'll look it up though, yeah. I'll look it up. The fact people disagree on things doesn't make something lose its value. It's like saying because scientists disagree on things and science is corrupt. I would agree, sure, but who can offer evidence for their beliefs, you know? We can't just say like, oh, people's willingness to die for their beliefs is going to prove their beliefs true. And the fact that people with multiple mutually exclusive beliefs have died for it proves that doesn't disprove that this one particular set of people that died for their beliefs is true, isn't true. And it's like, I don't know, it feels like we're trying our best to whittle away at all contentions while also not seeing the flaw in our argument. A 2022 study on lemon water and gastric emptying suggests that lemon water might decrease the time it takes for stomach contents to move further into the digestive tract, potentially reducing symptoms. Well, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'll might stick with bacon soda. That's just cheaper. But yeah, I got the hell yeah. You follow Jesus, you're not a modern Christian. Well, okay. Great. Dandy Park 2015, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. I disliked all his stuff. Well, thanks for announcing it. Yeah, that these dislikes on my shit is going to stop the discussion. Yeah, absolutely. Are you socialist? Do you think class division should be eliminated in society? I think optimally, yes, but in a world with capitalism, I think we might just be a little bit too far gone. Like the revolution is going to be I'm not trying to be super edgy about it, but there would just be way too much like if we want an example of what going from a capitalistic system to a socialistic system, no matter how optimal I think it is, ultimately would look like, I mean, look at Laos or North Korea. Well, their brand of socialism is more so just like authoritarianism, but I mean, you know, maybe not economically speaking, but beside the point, like look at Laos. And so I feel like just because I feel like capitalism is a good band-aid in the meantime doesn't mean that socialism probably wouldn't ultimately be the what works best. Do you feel any sort of guilt letting go your religion, and what do you feel now? I did back when I deconstructed. It was like even questioning the thing that I used to dedicate my life to, that's gonna suck. But eventually, no, it just went away. I just stopped because like once you really internalize the fact that it's not real, you realize it's like nothing to really be guilty about. A lot of these argument structures are built by people arbitrarily. I mean, sure, right? How did existence come into being? I think that existence has always existed. I don't see a reason for believing that the things that currently exist, at least like the matter or what condensed into it, and the energy and the space that's a property of it, and the time that's a property of it, haven't always existed in some form. You prove me Alexander the Great exists, and I'll prove the existence of God for you. I'm not playing your game. I'm so sorry. We know the authors of most of the Gospels. No, we did not. The 4 Gospels are anonymous. I can quite literally prove it for you right now if you want me to. Or I can just direct you to the source. Look at Wikipedia. Read the literally the first couple paragraphs for all 4 of the Gospels. Blueberries, honey, yogurt smoothie. You must try it. That sounds delicious. I don't have any of that on hand right now, but when I go to the market next time, I'll check it out. Did religion come from your family? How did they feel about your choice? It did, and my mom didn't like it that I left. My sister didn't care. My brother didn't care, and my grandmother didn't care too. My grandma was the most devout, and she found out, and she just didn't care. She's like, "Still my grandson. I don't care." I'm like, "Okay, well, thanks, Granny." Neither did my sister, neither did my brother. My mother was the only one that had an issue with it. Time Storm, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. You can follow the rabbit hole so far that eventually you will disprove everything we thought we know for certain. I believe we all know truth. English is a very primitive language, unlike Greek or Latin. I feel like once you really philosophically chop everything down, then you could lead to just ultimately realizing that you don't have any sort of grasp on the world around you whatsoever, like at least meaningfully speaking. But I don't think that negates that you are the agent that's working the best with what you have available, you know? What about the Gospels? They were written anonymously. Not saying that all are known, just saying that one statement you made was inaccurate. Which one? I can't keep track of the people. I'm sorry. You've been reading Lenin recently, and he talks about how a truly socialist state should wither away as a state of as a state is a construct for one class to oppress another class. That's kind of bleak, but also I see where he's coming from. Yeah. I think the fact that even these countries that are working toward true socialism, or that claim they are, that are these unitary one party socialist republics like Cuba or China or Laos or Vietnam, or in some regard North Korea, like seeing that they just more so gave way for authoritarian regimes to take over is going to prove that to, at the very least, be good evidence for it. What moment in your life kickstarted your deconstruction? The moment that kickstarted my deconstruction for me was reading the Bible, weirdly enough. I read the Bible. I thought about God differently after finishing it. And I didn't want to think negatively about God. Who wants to do that, right? And then so I was like, okay, let me look at apologetics. Like, surely this can't be the right interpretation. And then I realized that they were just being like kind of dishonest in their argumentation. So I was like, that wouldn't happen if this were all true, right? So let me look at the evidence of this being true. And then so looked at the logical arguments. I looked into the evidence, like the historical claims, the archaeological claims. Obviously prayed to God throughout all this, and none of that convinced me, so I left. You read the Bible literally. I feel so sorry for you. That is correct. I read the words for what the words said, and I didn't try to ascribe some weird woo-woo sort of personal bullshit meaning to it just for the sake of making it make sense to me. So yeah. All right, let me get you on out of here real quick. Oh, there's somebody else I got to get out of here too. Wait 1 second. Put user in timeout. Oh, wait. Oh, skadoosh. Who else? 1 second. Let me scroll up really quickly. Somebody I gotta block out, right? Give me a minute. Bosian. Thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate you. Welcome in. Good to see you. Okay, yeah, there you go. You can go literally forever. Skadoosh. Take care. Never coming back. Ever coming back. Did you also read the Book of Enoch and the Dead Sea Scrolls? I didn't read the Book of Enoch, and from what I know about the Dead Sea Scrolls, they're just an Old Testament manuscript. Which all that would really prove is that people used to write down their Jewish doctrine before, the compilation of the Bible. That's about it. Jesus is Lord. Okay, Mr. Spray. How will you fix Monaco Grand Prix? How will you fix the Monaco Grand Prix? Does it need fixing? So your God speaks Arabic. Why would a human speak a language? Oh, you're talking to somebody else. You can go to. Oh gosh, here we go. Spamming, douche. Take care. Muhammad was a pedophile, by the way. What about the proven prophecy spoken in Isaiah and Jeremiah that came to pass, and then Christ prophesying about the current events in Israel? What did he prophesy about the current events in Israel that came true necessarily? Wars and rumors of wars? If that's the case, like, wars have been happening for all of human history, if that's what you meant. But by all means, do correct me if I didn't get that, if that wasn't the prophecy you were talking about. And also, if the entire narrative about Jesus was written fictionally, then I'm not seeing how people who have access to Old Testament manuscripts and then writing in a Messiah to fulfill that would be anything miraculous. Like, the same reason I wouldn't consider it miraculous or cause to believe that Batman is real, just because that somebody in, like, I don't know, fucking Green Lantern volume 53 says that Batman will get a Green Lantern ring, and then he gets one in Green Lantern 56, right? No, the building of the third temple. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. I'll look into it. What's your view on abiogenesis failing in a lab? Abiogenesis is a process that took place over the course of millions of years, or at the very least is claimed to have taken course over the course of millions of years. So to say that it failed in a lab when, we can't replicate millions and millions of years of RNA formation or lipid layer formation in a lab setting, I'm inclined to call cap on it. But even beside that point, I'll need to see your source, and I'll also need to point you to my sources of the recent protocell experiment from August 2024 and the Miller-Urey experiment, showing that these proto structures can be synthesized under natural conditions that the Earth was in, millions of years ago. Who created you? When you die, where you go? My parents fucked, so that's who created me. And where do I go when I die? Probably in an oven, probably in the ground. Like if you're talking about my consciousness, though, I think you just cease to exist. I think that's just it for you, over for you, done, GG, well played, no re, and we could simulate millions of years of abiogenesis in a computer. Yeah, in a computer setting, sure. They said a lab though, so I wanna hold their feet to the fire really quickly. Your oh gosh, why are you apostrophe re, dude? Choosing to not believe in God because you have chosen to not, because there's not actually a God. At the end of the day, you don't really know. My lack of knowledge on whether or not there is a God doesn't constitute me needing to continue to believe in a God I used to believe in. So one's knowledge, one's belief. Keep believing the thing you believe in because you can't prove it. I mean, we can prove Christianity wrong pretty easily, but because you can't know an ultimate position that is claiming, it's just, I don't know what you want me to do with that. Explain your organs? What do you want me to explain about my organs? Do you remember what life was like before you existed? That's exactly what it's like after you stop existing. Yeah, I agree 100%. I think it's wild that people don't quite understand that. Have you considered nihilism honestly as an atheist? I have, and I'm more so existentialist about it. I don't think that, like, I do agree with nihilists in that nothing objectively matters, but I don't agree that you don't then get the right. I mean, they don't really claim this. Is they kind of stop the buck there, but I feel like just because nothing objectively matters doesn't mean like you, as the person who's living your life, doesn't get to ascribe some sort of purpose or meaning in your own life. What runs your body is electricity. Sure, yeah, among other things, yeah, right. Why does the Bible sound like a rule book? It was for the people the church ruled. Yeah, well, yeah, fair is fair, right? All right, I need another hit talking to you from the Hercules. 1 second. Anyway, where does it come from? Where does electricity come from? Electricity has always existed. The energy is basically the ability of a system to do work. One of the ways that it expresses, sorry, I had something on my tongue. One of the ways that it expresses is electricity. And, electricity has always existed. If you're an organism and you were born by your parents and you have the ability to take in energy from the food you eat and the water you drink and the things that you take in, then that's where the energy is going to come from. Can you prove how Jesus is fake? I said Christianity, not Jesus. I'm not a mythicist. You're telling me the Son of God remains have just disappeared. If he was truly crucified, then Romans threw the people who were crucified into mass graves. And so I don't consider it miraculous that his body disappeared any more than I consider it miraculous that some other random crucified fuck disappeared. In the speed of light in the Bible, they reference the speed of light. In what verse did they reference the speed of light? Did they say the speed of light equals this exact distance, or did they just talk about light having a speed or something? Oh, we're just keeping on with this woo woo shit. Okay, got you. Did your life get easier when you stopped believing? I think of religion as a way to realign when you lost. Did you develop another mechanism for this? I'd say overall my life got easier in a couple ways when I left religion. Um, I got my Sundays back. I got my privacy back, right? There's not like some omnipresent force watching every single thing that I do, judging me for it, right? Like if I'm in my room, you know, you know, doing the thing, oh, then there's not some random omnipresent force just there with me. Technically, um, that because I don't know why I brought that up, but anyway, I got back the idea, not back, but I started believing that there's no realm of eternal conscious torment for you to go to just for not believing correctly or not doing things correctly or not believing at all. So yeah, I'd say overall it got easier, but to be completely fair, to give Christians a bone here, the ways that my life got drastically different had nothing to do with my religion. So you left Christianity just to sin? No, James Cox. I don't know how you hear that and then come to the conclusion that I only wanted to sin and that's why I left Christianity. The way that Christians seem intent, it's cynical to say intent, but what else am I supposed to say to it? But they seem intent on taking your words and then twisting them into a pretzel and then throwing them back at you to mean something completely different from what you meant and what you said. I could say right now, I love pancakes. And it's like Christians have this weirdly impressive ability to take the sentence "I love pancakes" into "I want to genocide everybody who likes French toast." I will never understand it. It is the most asinine shit ever, and I wish I would stop it. Jose Cabrera, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Why'd you leave Christianity? For me, I just looked at the evidence of God being real and found none of it convincing. Also, do not spam. It's my one rule. Listen to blues and tell me that's pure human instinct and not soul. I have listened to blues. I've listened to a lot of very beautiful songs, and I can promise you that a soul, as we know it religiously, isn't the cause for people having these able to make these pieces for sure. You gotta say you hate this shit. I don't know why people speak on someone else. Oh, that shit. Yeah, I don't get it, dude. I'll never get it. I'll never quite get it. I wish I could, but I don't know. Jesse, hi. How you doing? How's your day going? I like how Christians go. You just wanted to sin. If I wanted to sin, I would do what Jeffrey Dahmer did. Maybe not the whole like, pedophilia, cannibalism, murder shit. But if I wanted to sin, no matter what that sin was, if I wanted to like beat my dick to reckless abandon, I would just do it for as long as I could until around the time of my life where I thought I was gonna die soon, and then I would just like get baptized and be all holy joy. Jose, read the one before it. Joey Robinson, thank you for subscribing as well. I appreciate it. Don't generalize. I'm a Christian, and I'm. You know what? No, we're past the point of don't generalize. Fuck no, no, I'm past it. Because what don't generalize typically leads to is, just accept the bad behavior that Christians, not as a collective, but that at least some Christians keep handing out to you, and don't call out that behavior and just let us sweep it under the rug. That's basically what it means. Um, I could basically say there's a child sexual assault issue with the Catholic Church, and people will take that with like, oh, don't generalize all Christians. I'm not going to address like the child sexual assault issue in the Catholic Church. We're just going to I'm going to get on you for bringing it up and trying to construe it as if you're blaming all Christians for it. Don't lie, you goon every day like the rest of us. I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. If you think, wait, no, fuck you. Not gonna force you or anything, but you should try reading the Quran. Maybe you'll like it. I've read the Quran, and I did not like it. I would argue that it's even worse than the Bible was, and that's saying something. I don't know how the fuck y'all did it, but it is worse. What's the basis of your morals if you believe there's no God? I'm going to answer you directly and then ask a counter question. So the basis of my morality is going to be my empathy. Um, what will be the thing that I desire most to happen to me, and within reason, and not just like with my like kings and shit. But and then like, so that's going to dictate how I treat people around me. But like, my moral convictions come from my life circumstances, my social upbringing, parental upbringing, religious beliefs in some regard, mental state, my mental illnesses, all these things are going to work my morality. My counterpoint to that, though, would be, do you think that God is the only thing that's writing on your heart not to do awful things? What's the Quran like? The Quran is a story of complete and total unwavering submission to a God that is violent and that condones pedophilia. That is what the Quran is like. The Prophet Muhammad was 51 when he this is in the hadith. Technically it's not the Quran itself, but beside the point, the story is regarded in Islamic lore. The hadiths mention Muhammad marrying somebody who was 6 years old when he was 51, and or at least like betrothing himself to someone who was 6 years old when he was 51, and then consummating that marriage, if you even want to call statutory rape that, when she was 9 years old and he was 54. It is absolutely horrifically disgusting. Jesus, the way, the truth, and the life. That is definitely a claim for sure. I'm not surprised that you're dodging me now. LOL, so pathetic. There are 119 people in here, you fucking narcissist. If you don't want to take the conversation serious, then please let me focus on something with more potential. Are you talking to me or somebody else? I'm out. Good chat. Do yourself a favor and watch. Okay, yeah. You're actually out now, but yeah, you can go ahead, get on out of here, because we're not just going to keep saying, oh, do the thing, do the thing, do the thing, do the thing, and I say I'm just going to keep repeating myself. No, you can actually go. Skadoosh. Have a good rest of your night. Appreciate it. How do you feel about the Anunnaki, oldest written language on the planet? I have no opinions about it. That doesn't lead me anywhere religiously, personally. Talking to Tribby Cat. Okay, got you. That's wrong, though. In the historical records, Aisha was 17 to 19. That is an outright lie. That is post-Quranic apologetics. I forget the exact verse in the surah, but it doubles down and triples down on the idea that the Quran is the perfect. I mean, technically it is the hadith, but beside the point. This is the perfect, inspired word of God given from Allah through the angel Gabriel to the final prophet Muhammad. So, yeah, we don't have to lie for our religion. I'm sorry. Your prophet was a pedophile and he was a violent warmonger as well. I wish I could talk to you. Just join my Discord, dude. If you're over 18, join my Discord. If you're not over 18, don't join the Discord, or you will get banned the second I find out. But yeah, join the Discord. Do all the other stuff too. Why not? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Just while y'all are here, let me just shill for my shit really quickly. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna start streaming again on Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Trovo, DLive, and Nemo TV. Multi-streaming. Follow all those things. Yeah, just all the things. Just follow the things. I don't know. I'm very, very tired right now. Can you join the Discord if you're 17 about to be 18? You cannot join the Discord if you are 17 about to be 18. I know that 18 is the number that comes after 17. You could be, it could quite literally be your 17th birthday, and you could be about to turn 18, assuming that you're going to be alive for the next year. So no, I do not want, if the value of your age is 17 or less than 17, don't join my Discord. I don't want you in there. If the value of your age is 18 or greater than 18, join the Discord. Sure, why not? And also, follow the other things too. Why not? What are some of the historical ups and downs of history that you thought were cool or shocking? Of just history in general? That's a very broad question. Is there anything specific you want to know? Because like off the top of my head, I can't think of anything historical that was like so outlandish one way or the other that it kind of blew my mind. Literally said, ask me anything. Yeah, you can ask me anything. What's wrong? Sumerian cuneiform is the oldest written language, and the Anunnaki were part of their pantheon. Oh, yeah, take it up with them. I'm not well versed, to be completely honest with you. If you had godlike powers, what would be the first thing you would change? I would first change people's ability to rape kids. I would make that impossible. I would make it so people would still have their illness, but if they actually tried to molest a kid, then their penis would explode immediately. Yeah, just on the spot, it will be a new biological feature. You try to touch a kid, your penis explodes. You don't get it back. It doesn't grow back. There's no repairing it. If you get a false one, your heart explodes the second time. So, yeah, I would change that. Second would be eliminating cancer, disease. Third, oh man, there's so many things I would do, but the first one would probably be completely and destroying the possibility, like the physical possibility of child molestation. If you're confident of your choice, why come here for validation? So I host these streams and make these videos to offer a look into an atheist and ex-Christian perspective, to encourage critical thinking, to learn new things, and to provide an opportunity to engage fairly and honestly with someone with a different worldview, and to have a little bit of fun along the way. That's why I make these streams. I don't do this for validation. If I wanted validation, I would come on here, pretend to be a Christian, like an unironic Christian, not the Christian I pretend to be every stream, but I'd be like, oh, I used to be an atheist. Now I'm a Christian. Holy, holy, joy, joy. You know, it would get a lot less derision than I get doing this type of content. So if it were for validation, I could do it that way. If it were for money, I would do it that way. If we think that I'm making that much money off of this or getting so much validation off of this, when there's far better ways to get it, then you're calling me inefficient. I feel sorry for you. Losing God is losing life. No, losing God is losing a book with talking animals in it. Do you find that atheism requires faith in a way that's not totally different from religious faith, just more personally aligned to that person? I wouldn't. No. I think that so atheism is just the lack of belief in a god or gods. Everybody's born an atheist, technically. And so that's going to be the default position. So I don't think it takes faith to have this position necessarily, unless we want to argue that it takes faith to even define what you believe in which case I feel like that would just lead to really absurd shit. So no, I don't think that's the case. Atheism definitely needs more faith than believing in God. Atheists believe in reality at face value. People that believe in God believe in talking animals and people rising from the dead. So miss me with it. Do you want to be with Luckier for it? I'm guessing Lucifer for eternity. No, but I don't think Lucifer exists, and I think that it's just like a weird veiled threat that can't be actualized because Lucifer's not real. You never were where it says they will never be taken out of his hand, but to be in his hand. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that, Sir Major Jr., but take it up with yourself. Don't take it up with me. It's not up to you to tell me what I used to believe, and it's not up to me to tell you what you currently believe. Because I'm me, and you're not me, and you're you, and I'm not you. So, you know, if you find my lack of belief unsatisfactory, you know, I won't say keep it to yourself as an open exchange, but don't expect me to debate you about it. You got another thing coming if you think I'm gonna waste any more time. Like, no, I wasn't Christian. Please, please let me, please validate me. Please, I wasn't Christian. No, I don't know what to tell you. There are 40 million people that know the Quran letter by letter. I feel sorry for them. People are brought back from the dead every now in hospitals. Sure, but yeah, I don't know if if Jesus was brought back, if they were like resuscitators, like what's the word I'm looking for? Defibrillators and shit in his tomb. So no. Jesus was the first David Koresh, yeah. What do you believe that God doesn't exist? Do you require empirical evidence? Yeah. To the best of my ability, like maybe not physical, but something that logically shows that God exists and that God cannot possibly not exist would work as just as well. But I think empirical will work the best. But you know, I'm not gonna be so obtuse here and say that. I'm beholden to this evidence by the creator of the entire universe, or B, that this evidence is possible with a God that doesn't have to abide by the laws of our reality. But so yeah, but all that to say, I think that would be optimal, but it's not what I you know what I'm looking for. I added you on Discord. I don't add random people, I'm sorry. But if you want to talk, you can always talk to me in Discord and in the server itself.
Unicorns are real and you can't prove it wrong. You need faith, more faith than I do that to believe that they don't exist. Exactly. I'll never get it. The three things I'll never debate somebody about on here is atheism is a religion. Atheism requires more faith than believing in God, and you were never truly a Christian. While I think all of those are dumb for each of their own individual reasons, it's like what then becomes the point, right? Like, where do we go from here? Do we have a discussion, or do you walk away saying, I made this atheist say he wasn't truly a Christian. I made this atheist say he was part of a religion. Like, if you get satisfaction off of that, your life's fucking pathetic. Your life is goddamn pathetic. As an atheist, do you celebrate Christmas or Easter in a different way? I mean, I just eat candy, right? Give gifts, decorate, but that's about it. I don't do the whole, the go to church. Thank you for rising from the dead, or go to church. Thank you for being born type of deal. Anyway, have you considered doing this with a current Christian and add another perspective? I think it could get interesting. In the future, sure, when the channel gets off the ground a little bit more. But for now, I just don't have the patience. I used to do this with people one on one a lot on TikTok, and people made it very clear from the jump that they're just here to, like, if the chat's not any indication, people just want to be, they like I'm out for to talk to each other neutrally as adults, as respectfully as we can, given our disagreement, and B, to get to the bottom of who believes the true thing, or who has the most grounded perspective. And what people made it very apparent to me when I used to debate people and when I used to like have these discussions with people like one on one is that they're out to perform, they're out to show out for their followers, or clip farm, and they're out to not understand anything that I'm saying to them. And I feel like that's, as somebody who thinks that the time that I'm going to get is finite, I feel like that's just a waste of my finite time. It also cuts out a lot of people from the conversation. Like, imagine if it was just me and one other person right here having a discussion, and now that's 107 people that I can't respond to. And so it's just, it's inefficient, and also it's just exhausting. So no, it's maybe when, again, when the channel gets up there a little bit more. But for, I mean, 2,000 subscribers, I think overall doing this for the months I've been doing it, I've made less than $1,000. It is, I would even say less than 500. I think maybe just about 500 across TikTok and YouTube. But yeah, it's not worth it. No, less than 1,000. Less than 1,000, James. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, just not worth wasting my time. Polytheism or atheism? For me personally, atheism. But I think if you're going to believe in a god, at least, like, polytheism will probably get you answer, like, be more explanatorily powerful in some regards. Like, for instance, if morality comes from the gods that exist, then it would better explain why people have different moral convictions, right? Uh, I think nobody would come out correct, but I struggle with my faith in your perspective of, it's one everyone should consider. I think ultimately, yeah, but I don't know, dude. Like, when it comes to debating somebody, or just like, because it's inevitably going to end in debate, right? Let's be completely honest here about a particular position. I care, like, I've spent so much of my life going back and forth about what the thing claims, what are the implications of the thing, and I care a little about that stuff now. I probably know the Bible better than most people who claim to be a Christian, at least in evangelical America. And it's like, I care a little about that, and more so about who's actually right. I want to be proven either right or wrong when I debate somebody. And so, for an unknowable position, I don't think we're going to get there. I mean, and like, I don't feel like debate's worth my time. And B, even if we could get there, like, I think maybe doing it more formally would be the way to get there. Do you understand that most mocking of religious people is often just bigotry, and that most people get away with it because religious people are still the political majority? Are you talking to somebody else, or you went from a divine authority belief to it's all just human preference belief? Um, yeah, it better explains why people have far different moral convictions about things for sure. It also explains why I morally disagree with a lot of the actions of the God of the Bible that I used to believe in. Faith is useless because you can believe anything based on it. Yeah, exactly. Like who gives a shit about I choose to have faith in a thing, and more so like is what you actually believe in true? Like when I'm how do I best explain this? When debate is like slap boxing, you know, like sure you can get some slaps in, you can do the grandstanding, you can do the performance piece, but I'm not interested in slap boxing anymore, dude. I'm aiming for the jugular, and I want my jugular aimed for it too. I want a knife in each of our hand. I want to see who's got the best slash and who can put down the other one for good. And especially in a space where you have people who built entire careers off of this, like they're not gonna admit if they come to some conclusion that like come to some evidence that they're wrong about it, right? You can argue the same about me too, but I mean, look at my subscriber count and tell me that I care that much about it to about what 1.9K to lean into my cognitive dissonance more than the average person. You guys are needlessly discussing it philosophically. Black magic is real and used much in India to harm. There's zero evidence that black magic actually does anything. Do snakes talk? Snakes do not talk. You would be surprised, but yeah, I guess snakes don't talk. What about reincarnation, the Dharmic wheel? I don't believe in reincarnation because I don't believe that there's anything about our consciousness or essence or like us as we are as individuals that's separate from our physical body. And so when we physically, like our physical body dies, I think like all that you are dies with it. So I don't believe in like souls or essences or anything. So by extension, I don't believe that they get recycled in any sort of way. Aren't you searching for something that you don't know how it looks, searching in the dark? I would go so far as to say I agree with you, sure. But if people who are claim that they have the thing and that they believe the thing so much so that they're going to use the thing to disparage people who don't believe in the thing and disparage people who are gay and trans, then I'm going to want them to present evidence for the thing. I think that's more than fair. How's your view of meaning or purpose changed since leaving Christianity? I stopped believing in like a meaning or purpose for life or anything really outside of like humans personal description of things, but and I started trusting myself more as the agent that can like define purpose for my own life, you know. What about premonitions and dreams that show you that something will happen? I have no reason to believe that these happen, much less that they're or really anything other than coincidental. I feel like if you have like a bunch of dreams, odds are you're going to have one dream that gets at least something correct, right? Can you present evidence for there not being a God? I mean, the burden of proof isn't on me, dude. It's on the people who make the positive claim that there is a God. The atheist position is what everybody's born with, which is the lack of belief in a God. So if we deviate from the default position, then we have to give evidence for our deviation or substantiate our right to deviate, I should say. Snakes can't talk, but I'm guessing, let's see, I'm guessing just monkeys or apes can become what? Monkeys can become women? Or huh? I don't know. You base your salvation on something that isn't preserved. That's not smart. The preservation of a false doctrine doesn't mean a false doctrine is true. I'm sorry. Just because Muslims were able to keep their book for, like, even if I were to grant that the Quran looks the same as it did 1500 years ago, there's no reason for me to think that is true. If you were to preserve a turd, that doesn't mean that turd turns into a cupcake, you know? So we all came from nothing, lol. No, lol. I, lol. Didn't, lol. Say, lol. That, lmao. Everything, lmao. Came, lol. From, lol. Nothing, skull emoji. I bet if you take the Kalindi, what Lee recommended dose of a psychedelic, you shed your atheism. Doubtful, because I've done how many psychedelics? LSD, LSA, psilocybin, DMT, salvia, mescaline, 2CB, and 2C. I've done 8 psychedelics, um, 4 dissociatives, and here I am as an atheist. If anything, these experiences that I had on psychedelics more so showed me the wonder of the human brain and its ability to um, form such complex and real feeling experiences rather than that these experiences are, something prescriptive, like descriptive of the reality around us, right? I feel like if you're at the point of thinking that your hallucinations while on these things is indicative of reality around you, then you haven't shed your ego enough to really get the point. Would you accept Islam if you saw it as the truth? Be honest. I would go from believing that Islam is false to believing that Islam is true, and that is something I don't want to, give myself to. If I would actively become one of the people destined for hell because I could not worship Allah. If he's the type that's going to give people new skin in hell just to burn it off, like even wanting to do such a disgusting thing is going to is not going to make me want to worship you, you know. No, tribal gaming, no thank you. Let's see here. Now you chose not to believe because you want to live for yourself. I'm not seeing how it tracks that somebody like me who used to believe in this thing fervently, like, firstly, you don't know me. You didn't even ask me, like, how long I believed and whether or not I was devout. But to answer that question that you didn't ask, 19 years and I was extremely devout, like, to the point of witnessing. Um, Thinking that it takes, like, just randomly waking up one day, like, I want to be able to beat my dick to reckless abandon is, or do whatever the fuck is the reason I just wake up one day. It's like, oh, let me just stop believing in this thing that I'm dedicating my life to. That's just absurd. That's just completely absurd. I think the fact that there's such a pervasive issue within the Catholic Church of priests not being able to keep their hands off of kids shows that people can believe in God even to the point of being figures in their community while also doing the quote unquote sins that they desire to do, right? What's witnessing. You ever had somebody like knock on your door trying to like spread the word of Jesus Christ? I wasn't knocking on doors, but I was like hanging outside of my church on Sundays for a couple hours, and then people that walk by, I'd be like, like be one of the people out there trying to say, hey, can I talk to you about Jesus Christ and all that good stuff. Blessed are those who believe and haven't seen. Yeah, seems kind of odd to me that the all-powerful creator of the universe considers it a virtue to not get evidence for the things that he expects you to believe. That seems kind of weird to me. Uh, like if I were all-powerful and I wanted a relationship with everybody, I would just show myself. Right? Like that's I want the thing, so let me do the thing. Right? It's like it's not that hard. But oh, well, let me just consider it a virtue to believe in this thing blindly. That seems like a human intention to me, and so I'm not buying it. I don't like this overly Christian chat. It's one of the more saturated ones, but you do what you can, right? One second, let me check something out real quick. Give me a minute, give me a minute, give me a minute. I just want to know. Uh, oh, 75%. Okay, well, that's okay. I was expecting a lot less with the. Oh, never mind. I'm not, not gonna say what I was looking at, but yeah, then I feel like people would beside the point. You can't say I would just show myself. This reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of theology, which is the study of the nature of God. If it's God's nature to be such a lazy piece of shit that he doesn't show himself to the people he claims he wants a relationship with, then um, I would say that I understand the theology, but I don't accept that the theology leads to something that, like that the logical inconsistency within the theology is now suddenly makes sense, right? Like if we were to say like, oh, God believes that 2 + 2 = 5, but we know that 2 + 2 = 4, then we aren't required to say, oh, 2 + 2 actually equals 5 because theology says that God says it's the case. It's like, or believes it to be the case. Showing yourself isn't the issue; it's following and obeying. That's the issue. Those are things that people can. Shit, what is that? Sorry, 1 second. Give me a minute. What the fuck? Oh shit. Okay, wait 1 minute. But yes, like those are things that we can do after we first get evidence that he exists in the first place. 19 years and you don't know why faith is important. I've had the answers I get for why faith is important don't hold up to logical scrutiny, right? They basically all come down to God arbitrarily preferring it. You could say, "Oh, it's he wants you to get like wants you to make a free will choice." I know that's a theodicy, but um, people can still make a free will choice to follow God or Satan while knowing that both of the parties are real. You know, especially if like Satan can't offer people worldly pleasures in the realm that he left to him. So that doesn't pass logical scrutiny. One could say that if he showed himself, then everybody would be saved, but that kind of defeats the entire argument that people spread the gospel by way of for the reason of trying to get people saved. So that doesn't pass logical scrutiny. So again, I know why people are saying, like, I understand the reasons for it, but that doesn't mean the reasons that people present are logical. It's just basically God prefers it to be where people come to him blindly, arbitrarily at the end of the day. He didn't show himself before. I don't know. I feel like if there are reasons, but it just depends on how you feel about that. I don't think there's any good reason that an all powerful being shouldn't do the thing that would, at least from my perspective, best guarantee salvation. I think that's absurd. Atheists fancy themselves as smart, yet they can't figure out why God exists. Okay, dude, that's definitely a sentence for sure. I believe I know Islam enough to reject it. You probably do at this point. Uh, let's say saying something is logical or not without evidence doesn't make your statement true. I even gave my reasons. If you don't accept my reasons, that's fine. But like at that point, like where do we go from here? You know, it's just I gave my reasons. All powerful being who desires a thing will have the thing. Him not having a thing or him not giving himself the thing shows that he has a reason for it. The reasons don't pass logical scrutiny. Therefore, the reasons are, at least from the laws of logic that I use, illogical. So just because you don't like it and you want to keep calling God perfect in all of his actions, no matter what, don't try to make that my issue. You know, just at that point, just scroll away. It is a sentence. You scoff at it because it's essentially true. Ever heard of the Epicurean paradox? Is that the one that's like that shows the dilemma of why there is like a moral ascription to certain actions? Like basically is I'm word salad and like a motherfucker. I'm very high right now. Um are things good because God commands it, or does God command it because it's good? Is that it? Or am I thinking of something else? I mean, we all have parents, so how come you can't entertain the idea that we have a creator? It's a non sequitur. Having parents, being a part of a species or being an organism that's taxonomically or biologically a species that produces sexually would lead me logically to believe that we have two people that produce like reproduce sexually in order for me to get here. There's I'm not seeing like the chain link between that and between there is an invisible force that created literally everything whatsoever. Because if we would just want to argue things exist, therefore creator, I would have to put that on God too. If people say he exists, if people are perfectly fine saying that the God exists without needing a creator, then I'm perfectly justified in just taking that one step further and saying that the universe exists without a creator. Until there's some sort of evidence to show that I'm definitively wrong about it. You know what? You can go. Yeah, cafe. Yeah, I don't. Man, just buy, dude. Just buy. I'm not in the mood, man. Just buy. Just buy. Just buy, dude. If you're only here, and I want y'all to know this, listen, you don't have to always agree with everything I say in order to be here. I'm completely fine with people disagreeing. If you don't believe me, look at the people in the chat right now who've been in this chat for a while, letting me know clear as day that they disagree with what I'm saying, but who have no issue not getting timed out, right? No issue whatsoever not getting timed out. We're having a fruitful discussion here. Win, lose, or draw, agree or disagree, we're having a dialogue. That's what I'm after. But if you're just coming in to just like just to antagonize, just to shit talk, like I'm not gonna let somebody in here just to shit talk, man. I don't understand it. We can disagree while being productive. If you're going to be unproductive, though, there's no conversation to be had. So just bye, bro. So cafe, bye. Have a good rest of your life. As a matter of fact, you are not the type of person I need around me. I'm sorry. Good douche, man. We can talk. We can disagree. It's fine to disagree. People are doing it right now. We are disagreeing, but we're talking. That's what we're bridging the gap. If you don't want to bridge the gap, you don't have to be here. It's so simple. It's so fucking simple. MB in the chat. MB in the fucking chat. I'm not gonna sit here and act like oh, we're just happy hunky dory, right? We went through it. They're still in the fucking chat. Not muted, not timed out. We disagree. He's made it no secret whatsoever. We intrinsically disagree. Still in the chat. Because he's asking questions. He's having a dialogue. Even not to the point of trying to agree with me or me trying to agree with him, but we're hashing things out. If you only want to shit talk, why do you think I'm going to let you be here? Holy fuck, man. Anyway. Like, only the shit talk? Literally only the shit talk? Nothing else? Just the shit talk? You think I'm going to waste my time with that? Please don't. Anyway. What's the event that turned you into an atheist? The moment I knew I was an atheist was when I was looking for evidence of God. I was like a year and a half deep, rehashing some old argument. I couldn't tell you which argument it was necessarily, but it was some argument. I was looking at some philosophical contention to it, and this question came to my mind. God doesn't answer back. There is so far no logical substantiation for God whatsoever. So far, no historical proof that the events of the Bible, that at least the supernatural events of it, I should say, happened. The archaeological evidence isn't coming back to leading to these things. I would call anything that meets this standard to be non-existent. That's the word I would use for it. So why am I holding God to a different standard? That's the second I knew I was an atheist. I don't think Cafe deserved to be kicked. I thought the whole point was pushback. Pushback is fine. If you don't believe that pushback is fine, look at the literal chat right now. People in the chat literally right now pushing back. That's fine. Hold my feet to the fire. It's fine. It's okay. I'm a big boy. I can take somebody disagreeing with what I have to say, right? But if you're only here to shit talk, only here to shit talk, nothing else, not move the conversation forward, not at least learn what position you're trying to intrinsically and maliciously disagree with, then there's no reason for you to be here. Zero reason whatsoever. Like, why? Imagine if somebody came in your house, pissed on your rug, threw shit at your walls, just puked all over your doorknobs. Just, I don't know, man. Just dropped a load in your cupcake tins. Just unplugged your oven, smashed your windows. Would you keep that person in your house? No. Right? I don't know. Sorry to hear that. Personally, have had some experiences in my lifetime. That's why I believe, but I respect and understand your perspective. Well, that's fair enough, right? If we ever find out the truth and one religion is correct, then what do the rest of the religions believe in at that point? I don't know. I wouldn't say I hope, but I would hope at the very least if there's like sufficient evidence that one religion is true, that everybody else could at least acknowledge it, right? Do I like cupcakes? Not really. Not really a fan. I'm not a huge fan of cake in general. I like cheesecake and like pie, but Yeah, it's just cupcakes are just like, I mean, they're okay. I mean, I'll never reject one. They're not like bad, but they will never be the first dessert I pick. I don't even know if they would be in like, even cake in general. I don't know if it would be like in the top 5 of desserts I pick. None of them are correct. I agree. I'm not just gonna say all these people are. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. My bad. My logic is sound logic. Your logic is not. If your logic is leading you to believe in a book with talking animals in it, I mean, I'm just at least intuitively going to think that that's incorrect. Did I ever study Islam? I've read the Quran, and to part of being a Muslim, and do correct me if I'm wrong, but part of being a Muslim is to believe that the Quran is the perfect, inspired word of God, given by Allah Himself through the angel Gabriel to the Prophet Muhammad. I've read the Quran all the way through Surah 1, verse 1 through Surah 114, verse 6, and I found 0% of it convincing. Had the same structural issues as Christianity, especially morally speaking, if not worse. So, yeah, if I think imperfectly of the Quran, then I definitionally cannot call myself a Muslim. Do I like watermelon? I like artificial watermelon, but I don't really like the real like the fruit watermelon too much. I'm sorry. I like pineapple. Pineapple's great, and peaches. My life has never been the same since I've had fresh tree ripened peaches. I don't know how the fuck I can go back to the stuff at the store. I haven't brought a store bought peach since. I've had like just whenever as I can't do peaches anymore after having a tree ripened peach. It was a life changing experience. What do you think of Derek Lambert leaving the cult of atheism? I don't know what media it is. I don't know if it's a video or like a movie or a book or something, but whatever media it is, I haven't encountered it, so I couldn't tell you. But no, I'm not a huge fan of watermelon. I like as far as fruits, I like strawberries, pineapple, grapes are great. Peaches, especially if they're tree ripened, I'll never be the same. And things like that. I say things like that like that's supposed to give indication. And as far as like artificial flavors, I like artificial watermelon flavor and I like artificial raspberry flavor. But I don't like fresh raspberries for some odd reason. It's kind of weird. You should try Jollibee peach mango pie. I don't have a Jollibee near me, but if everything goes to plan and I do eventually move to the Philippines, it's on the list for sure. I really want to move to the Philippines, dude. I can't do this weather anymore. I can't do getting priced out anymore. I can't do this culture anymore, dude. I can't do this divisive bullshit anymore, dude. I just can't do it. It's somewhere warmer, somewhere with nicer people, and somewhere that's not as fucking expensive. Do I like kiwi or I'm not sure what that second one is. I haven't heard of it. Imagine dying and truly thinking there's nothing after FAO. What, bro? It's just dark. I wouldn't say dark. I would say like think of what you experienced on August 8th, 715. The year 715, August 8th. You don't know because you didn't exist yet. I think it's that feeling of complete and total lack of consciousness all over again. You're Filipino too. The weather sucks here. I will take wet and hot any day of the week over the colds of Michigan in the U.S. I can't. I'm sorry. It is fucking. It's almost June, and it's still kind of nippy outside. Why are we doing this? I can't do it anymore, dude. I gotta get the fuck out. I really want to move to the Philippines. Michael, I'm not gonna debate you about whether or not it takes faith to not believe in a book with talking animals. I'm so sorry. Imagine not believing in anything greater than this realm. I don't have to imagine. I see no reason to, so I don't. Uh, Jesus Christ was a real person and made real claims. I mean, there's no contemporary evidence of Jesus even being real, like his life, death, or resurrection. But I'll even grant that I'm not a mythicist. I'll grant Jesus existed as a person, but there is no reason whatsoever for me to think he was the son of God. Yeah, that's in a universe where people can't rise from the dead. I'm gonna call a cap on a claim that he rose from the dead. Do I live in the South U.S.? No, I live in the North. I'm in Michigan. You should take some DMT, bro. I've done DMT once. It didn't. I mean, here I am, right? I don't blame you. I'm tired of this cold weather. I not live not far from Michigan, dude. It fucking sucks, man. And I was out of the frying pan into the fire. I used to live in Cleveland for a bit, for like a couple of years, and their weather's not much better. Like it was in general hotter outside, but it was the the weather was a lot more sporadic, I should say. I guess from being so close to Lake Erie. If you do move to the Philippines, there's a high chance you'll see me one day. Probably. If so, you know, I'll be pretty distinctive. I'll leave it at that. I'm in the top 1 percentile of height for people out there. So if you just see some like tall lumbering dude that looks like he doesn't know what the fuck's going on, it's probably me. DMT didn't move you, then you most likely didn't do it right. If you didn't reach my conclusion, then you didn't do the thing correctly. Got you. Why do you want to go to the Philippines? The lady boys? No, I don't want to go to the Philippines for the lady boys. The three biggest reasons I want to go is the weather, the prices, and the biggest reason for sure is the people. Is they're lovely people. Lovely people, except for the ones that come in my chat telling me I'm going to hell. They're not so lovely, but I would imagine they're, at least from what I've seen, they're, you know, it's a lot more chill of a place to be. I can't do this shit, dude. It's so hateful and divisive here. Just get me out at this point. Taking DMT as an art, not everyone gets it right the first time. Requires a bit of finesse and the leathered lungs of a hashish smoker. Oh, it's funny. I did hashish. I'll just call it hash. Because the vapors are hard to hold down. I mean, I did the little collapse thing. It wasn't like some like, ooh, whoa, I'm still awake sort of deal. I've had the hallucinations. I just obviously came out of it an atheist, right? Philippines, good weather, just like many other countries in Central America. Mexico, great weather. Oh yeah. I'll be honest, dude. I'm kind of lazy when it comes to learning new languages, so that's kind of the big reason I wouldn't want to just like go to Central America. I mean, maybe the Caribbean, but I mean, most of them speak English. Yeah, possibly somewhere like that. Can't read Greek. Let's translate it. Surely they didn't sneak this the fuck out of me, right? Translate selection to English. I see with your eyes that you desire the villa. Is that what that says in Greek? I don't know. Spoke to your higher self on DMT when you vaped a ton. I've probably done it dozens of times. I feel like if somebody still has, maybe it's just like the ego death part of it, but I feel like if somebody has the subjective, like if they come out of their psychedelic experiences with like this subjective sense of importance intact, then I won't say they did it wrong or right, but I would say they've reached a different conclusion than I did. Like it was this one time I was doing shrooms that really made it lock in for me that shit really just don't matter out here, dude. You know, it's like as no matter how important I think my own life is to my own like in regards to my own life, like objectively none of this shit matters. And so that's kind of like the philosophy I go into the rest of the world with. In some regards at least, right? I mean DMT already okay, yeah, never mind. Took a week, got me my heartbeat out of my chest. I don't know how y'all do it. I'm not really huge on edibles nowadays. I like smoking flower mostly. I'll tell you what I can't do. These like vapes and carts and shit. That shit just seems so what's the word I'm looking for here? Like there's something soulless about it, you know? That's kind of weird for me coming to somebody who doesn't believe in souls, but like there's something, if we're taking such a natural and chill, nice experience and we're just like, you know, making it available by putting your lips on a machine, I don't know, dude. It's just something just feels intuitively wrong about that, you know? So I stick with flower. I'll say my favorite 4 ways to take it are flower number 1, Um, edibles number two, but like a weak edible, nothing like none of this outrage like this crazy like 500 milligrams or more type shit. I'm a pussy, dude. I'm sorry. I like chill highs, man. I don't like to just like wondering if the police are gonna pull up any moment, even though I know it's legal in my state. It's like I don't like that shit. I like to be decently high. So but yeah, edibles number two, probably like hash number three, because you gotta like cut it with tobacco, and I like the head high that gives with it, because I am a tobacco smoker too, and like cannabis oil number four, but like the type you ingest, not the type you like the topical. It seems like more of a conversation up my alley than talking about religion. Everything people think is soulless responsible for can be explained by brain activity. Yeah, 100%. God is constantly speaking. You just got to pay attention. It's not up to me to pay attention. It's up to the all powerful being who can express himself any way he wants to, and the all knowing being who knows exactly what would convince me to make that step. Because I can promise you, I've made plenty of the steps on my own. Plenty. No, you don't have to apologize, Rip. By all, if somebody's a rape apologist in my server, I mean, they might not just last long. Made you become an atheist, if you don't mind me asking? No, I don't mind you asking. So for me, I left my faith after about. I'm not gonna do the spiel. I read the Bible. I got like two spiels I go on. I'm gonna go over the specific one. So I read the Bible for the first time as a Christian. I thought differently about God morally after finishing it, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll just have a misunderstanding. Let me look into apologetics really quickly. Looked at the apologetics. The apologetics seemed kind of dishonest in their intentions. So I was like, well, that's kind of odd. Is this even true? And then I was like, surely it's true, but I'll look at the evidence regardless. Like, because at the very least, like I'm having a crisis of faith right now, but if I in the future have a crisis of faith, I'll know there's this one piece of evidence, if anything else, I can rely on, and that'll get me through it. And sure enough, looked at the evidence, and there was none of it passed scrutiny. So that's why I left Christianity. People claim Quran had miracles when no miracles ever performed by Muhammad nor others. The only miracle that Muhammad performed was getting to was managing to us. It's a bad joke. It's such a bad joke. I'm not. No, never mind. I'm not gonna make the joke, but it had to do with Aisha, and him not getting arrested or stoned to shit for doing such a thing. You're faithful and you don't post about it on YouTube. Well, that's great for you. It's you're the non-believers probably aren't attacking the country you believe in to the point of that you feel the need to talk about it. Most atheists don't engage in spiritual disciplines like meditation or contemplation, therefore they never invoke direct experiential contact with God. I noticed you capitalized the G. I'm guessing you're talking about a God that's all-knowing and all-powerful, right? Say it. Nah, it's bad, dude. Out of context, somebody could think that I'm like a pedophilia apologist or something when it's exactly the opposite. So no, I don't even want to. Like if people are gonna twist words, like I don't even want to give them the ammo. So apparently meditation makes you hallucinate, so there's that. The brain, when not given external stimuli, will try to make up stimuli. I'd imagine that's the reason why we dream. So it's like, don't give it any stimuli, turn the screens off, do all the things, nothing to stimulate it whatsoever, and it'll just start doing things to keep itself entertained. Was there a personal connection between you and God, or was it only academic and intellectual? I mean, it's hard to say, right? I feel as if though the vibes were a personal connection or relationship for sure. But looking back, I have no reason to think that these vibes that we're feeling were indicative of anything higher after I deconstructed that. Like once I was able to explain those naturally, like they need to ascribe some sort of supernatural origin to them, just kind of disappeared too. Deconstructed from the Pentecostal religion, how atheists and I enjoy meditation. I don't know. I might just have like ADD or something. I try not to like misdiagnose my shit, but maybe it's just like the over stimuli that comes to like I have two screens in front of me. I have two monitors, and like even while I'm doing this, I'll have like something off on the side to watch, like Valorant or something. And so that might just be where I don't like sitting still by myself with my thoughts too much. But yeah, just I got probably got to fix it. I think I would like meditation if I like gave my brain some time to rest. Uh, the Quran came to correct what was changed and to be preserved once and for, oh, we're just still doing on this Quranic diatribe, I guess. I still have PTSD from that stream where you became a believer. The one where I did the whole stream like that, or like the basically every stream where I like busted out for like 10 minutes or so. Oh, you embarrass yourself? You apologize? You don't have anything to apologize for. You don't have anything to apologize for. What? Which version of the Quran? I read the Clear Quran by Mustafa Khattab. Quran and Surah says to go back to manuscripts and Torah. Quran says it's truth, therefore Quran is false. Oh shit. Well, damn. We up. It's so funny. I mean, I'm not gonna act like we were best of friends or something, but like, you know that meme where it's like the two guys that shake hands, or like, you know, like the two buff guys holding their arms together. It's like atheist, Christian, and then it's like me and MB. It's like being critical of Islam. He did a whole stream like that. It wasn't like that, but I might do another stream like that. Not recently, soon, but where I'll put up a prompt. I gotta go live on TikTok for it though, so I can take up guests to add to the humor of it. But where I pretend that I believe in God, and I'll have some stupid prompt of like, prove God ain't real, prove we came from nothing or something. It was the last time I did it. It was fucking hilarious. I did that for April Fool's Day recently, and let me look at the prompts I put on the screen. 1 second. I don't think I have them anymore, or at least I don't feel like digging for them. I'll dig. Let me stop being lazy. I'll dig for them. 1 through 30 of 67, April 1st. Let me see what my prompts were from that stream. The prompts I had up was prove God isn't real. You can't. The universe didn't come from nothing. Humans didn't come from monkeys. Everything in the Bible is good and great. If you don't believe in God, you're slow, but I misspelled your intentionally. Marvin Sapp did nothing wrong. It's back when Marvin Sapp was like under fire for like telling ushers to close the doors and shit. And Donald John President, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to the US of A. Leave Elon Musk alone. And then I said, not an April Fool's joke. We aren't 5 anymore. Yeah, that was a funny ass stream. I might listen back to it. It was a really funny stream. I don't know. It was hilarious. I got to do another one of those. Anyway, so the Quran's a fan fiction of an older fan fiction. Yeah, if the Abrahamic religions were Terminator movies, the Quran would be the shitty like the shitty third movie. I think it was like, it wasn't Judgment Day. It was I forget it, but yeah. Skeptic, have you ever been to a non-denominational church? Through technicality, yeah, because I grew up in the Baptist church for the most part, and a lot of them refer to themselves as non-denominational, but they treat like not treated, but preached the exact same things as I was learning in the Baptist churches. Never yeah, that was a funny ass stream, dude. It was from, oh man, I gotta do that stream again for the love of the game. Quran would be a Bollywood version of Terminator. It's fucking crazy. The Timu version of Terminator. Dude, this church I've been going to. Tell me about this church you've been going to. You're convinced this is a cult. Oh shit, what are they doing? Let me light this up really quickly before I get out of here. It's already been 3 hours. It's already been 3 hours counting my other stream, but so I'm gonna get off of here any second, even though I got like 15 minutes before I hit 3 hours on this stream. So you keep going because you want to figure it out. I think they might have you already. Will you do streams based on other stuff? Like, do you have another channel? In the future, let's assume like the channel not blows up into Mr. Beast level or anything, but I get a decent amount of like traction and support doing this. Gaming streams, that's my bread and butter. I would love to do a lot of those. The content, I would do a lot more long form content if I just had more time to do it. If it was really, really balling like that, had money for it, I would be traveling around the world, going to like different churches, different cults and stuff throughout around the world, interviewing people and things like that. But yeah, and maybe doing some formal debates here and there. But ultimately, like streams like this, I want to switch over to like maybe like a morning show sort of deal, a little bit more official than just like get on and yap sort of deal. But yeah, I got a lot of plans. Whether or not those plans actualize depend on like I guess how if the people want me, I'm here for the people, right? You have a question? What's your question, Mag? The church is a barn, no? Or like cows and shit? Or what? Ask me anything? Yeah. What about it? Your question's getting filtered if that's your issue. Have you ever had an encounter with God? I've had what I used to think was an encounter with God, but looking back, I like euphoria. Just I felt good feelings, so just ascribe that to saying, "Oh, this is God talking to me," or whatever, or coming down and like making me feel this way. As evidenced by the fact of me going to a concert a couple years later, not a couple, a few years later. What's a couple or a few? 2015. Oh yeah, like a couple years later. Me going to a concert gave me the exact same feeling, and I've gotten the exact same feeling a few times since. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you as well. Glad you found this room. If you experience God in the midst of life, it'll dissolve your fear of death. The Sufi mystics call it fana, meaning to die before you die. I already don't fear death. Like in regards, the only thing I fear is, or I guess I'm anxious about, is how it's gonna happen. But I don't fear the idea that I'm gonna die eventually. Like if I were to die right now and I were to have a few seconds to realize, oh shit, I'm dying. The world's gonna continue without me. But it was something like a heart attack, like that would be painful, but not the worst thing in the world. I'd be okay knowing like, okay, this is it. Well, it was fun, GG. Um, but yeah, I'm cool with the knowledge I'm gonna die. I'm cool with the knowledge it can happen anytime, and I'm cool with the knowledge that the world's gonna go on without me. I just don't want to get like buried alive or flayed or some dumb shit. Define faith. Oh no, that's not a question for me. Like why do you want me as an atheist to define what faith is? They're so weird, and I think people have the whole town in the cold. They have drones flying around and spying on people and other various weird things that put them in a controlling / conforming light. Oh man, that's fucked. Well, um, try shooting the drones down. I'm stop. Kind of religious, but I don't know. I just have to consider everything I can at this point. I didn't scroll past though because you seem cool enough. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. I'm glad you were able to find at least some sort of value in my little yap session here. It was fun. GG is a very religious attitude toward death. The Hindus, for instance, see it as a kind of game where God plays an eternal game of hide and seek. When you die, you awaken to godhood. I don't know. Yeah, that's I can't really jive with that. Okay, Jonathan, you're just not here to be productive. Oh shit. Define faith, atheist. Why would you want me to define faith? Let's get that out the way before I before we continue. I told you, chat. Hey, chat. This atheist doesn't want to define faith. Like, all right, Jonathan. You know what? Matter of fact, you're not somebody I want in my life. You're gone forever. Oof, skadoosh. You will not come back. I want to do a mass unbanning soon. There's only like maybe one or two people I'm gonna keep on there that I can like. I think maybe three. Yeah, three. The dude that harassed me across platforms. The dude that just like came in the schizo post really really bad, and this one dude that called me a slur I shall not be repeating. But those are the only three that are gonna stay. But yeah, with that whole performative fucking hey chat, this atheist doesn't want to define what faith is. It's like, it's just at that point, just get out of your own ass. Come to Islam before it's too late. I would rather put my pan on the stove to reheat. I have a nice cast iron pan. It weighs a lot. It's a big hefty pan, and it also gets really really hot because it holds heat really really well. I would rather try to preheat that pan, put some oil in it, getting ready to saute something, and then for some odd reason accidentally drop that pan and all that oil on my foot and my leg. And I mean, I want like the pan would hit the worst possible part of the foot. You know that top part, that really bony part, where all of your, I think, what's the, I think they're just tarsals on your feet. That really bony part on the top though, like it would hit that. It would be awful. It would hurt like a bitch. I would rather do that than ever come to Islam. So yeah, sorry. Just subscribe. This should be lots of fun. Hey, well, welcome in, Charlene. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Not the cast iron keep burning my pancakes even on low heat. Is your pan properly seasoned? Is it a good? It's a well seasoned pan where things can like, get what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I feels like people keep trying to hide their hate for homosexuality. I'm pretty open about the fact that I'm not homophobic. I guess it's been in my experience. I don't know, like in my chat, the people who are homophobic tend to be very open about it. Because it's pretty disgusting. But at least I appreciate the honesty, right? But yeah, I feel like I would hope that if somebody feels such a regressive bullshit thing, then they would be more open about it. You're happy to be a heretic. It's fun on the heretic side. You do love Jesus Christ, right? No, I don't believe in Jesus Christ. The Germans call it a Hintergedanken, Hintergedanken, a thought all the way in the back of your mind that knows deep down this is still all a divine play. Oh, sounds like gaslighting to me. Weird, I was in that town and three drones flew up and watched me before they flew off from multiple towns. People came over to see what I was doing. Admittedly, what I was doing was suspicious. Shit. Well, fuck. Alert the ATF and see if they have a standoff. Why is it that the Bible preaches things such as Leviticus 19:27, saying that you can't get a haircut / shave your beard and not listen to that and yet still disdain homosexuality? I couldn't do it. I'm of the position. It's probably a cynical position, but it also leads to some non-cynical conclusions. I'm of the conviction that people are just people, and that they're either good people or bad people. And where I'm going with that is that somebody's religion in and of themselves won't stop them from having their inherent bigotry and judgments, right? And so it's very rarely that I meet somebody who I would genuinely be convinced is only homophobic because their religion tells them to be. Especially considering that a lot of the people don't even know the verse in the Bible that condemns homosexuality, at least in the Old Testament. That would be Leviticus 20:13, or if some interpretation of it at least. But yeah, the fact that people do choose to like can pick and choose what to believe in, so happen to believe the things that let them continue to be awful people, and so happen to ignore the things that tell them that like don't eat the pork or don't eat the shellfish, stone non-believers and stuff like that, lets me know that this religion isn't doing very much in the way of making people bad people. But maybe that's just a little bit too either naive or cynical. The suspicious thing I was doing was grabbing my auntie's couch outside her old house and a pile of her stuff. I mean, it's not very suspicious, right? Especially if it's like, you know, it can't be, it's not shouldn't be super suspicious. I don't know. Um, I mean, maybe from an outside perspective, they could see like, why is this dude like coming over to grab this couch out of this random yard, maybe, but enough to warrant people coming just like from all over. That's a little odd. Don't mix your fabrics. Yeah, don't grow different crops on the same plot of land. What else? Yeah, there's a bunch of different things. Not eating pork is unnecessary. I mean, by that logic, the rest of the Old Testament stuff is unnecessary too. Like, if we can ignore the 613, we can ignore the 10 as well. You have to come see this train wreck after you get off. I'm gonna get off now. Actually, I gotta see this. Subscribe if you have not already. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Kickstrovo, DLive, and or Nemo TV. I'm going to stream to all of them when I fix my Streamlabs issue. As a Twitter backup, follow me on Threads or Blue Sky. As a TikTok backup, follow me on Clapper, Eliminator, Zhao Hongshu. Join the subreddit. Join the Discord. Add me on Snapchat. If you want to support the streams, you can send text to speech by either tipping $1 or more on my Streamlabs page or donating $1 or more to my Streamlabs charity page to the crisis text line. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Oh, High Inquisitor wasn't here today. I feel like such a dick, dude. They tipped me $10 yesterday, and I didn't get the notification on PayPal, so I'm just like doing a whole stream and didn't thank them for it. I feel like such an ass for it, but I gotta when the next time they're in chat, I really gotta make sure to thank them from the bottom of my heart for it. But beside the point, just all the stuff, just all my things are in the description of this video, or do like Streamlabs, the bot just sent the link. Yeah, just check the stuff out. I don't know, but have a good rest of your night. I'm gonna go see what this train wreck is about in Discord. And I don't have an outro.